Smita, can you announce the presenter? First presenter.
Sure. Okay, starting with the presentation, the first category is Best Media Strategy Services, and the duration will be 10 minutes per presentation. And the first case study is the entry ID is 737, and the brand is Mobility. Over to presenter.
Okay, just a moment. Let's wait for a minute. Yeah, you can keep everything ready, Anshu.
Sure. Is my screen visible to you guys?
No, not yet.
The judging this thing link came from where? Because I'm not able to locate it.
We have shared it with you on the email.
Yeah,
we'll
but
send
is it
it.
from Ad Club or is it from Smita?
Yes. Emvies @adclub.in. Adclub.in. We will reshare it with you once.
Just presentation mode.
Yes, you're on full screen. Just give us 1 moment. Anyone else need the login credentials? Jury members?
I have the login credentials, but I can't see 737 mobility in the list that I have.
Just a minute, so let me check.
I'm assuming 737 mobility would be under the brand name column.
Yeah, just a moment. It's there on this, like just a moment. Category you'll have to select first. I think the other category might have been opened on your end. The category Best Media Strategy Services present services right now.
Yeah, I still can't see 737 mobility there. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 3. Found it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, found it. Thank you.
Samyukta ma'am, do you want the credentials once again?
Yeah, I just got the credentials.
I just sent.
Okay.
Yeah, just give me a minute.
Sure.
Yeah, I can't find 737 either. Whoever found it, can you tell me where it is?
Yeah, so I think you'd be confused because 737 is actually the ID. So it will be 0737 under the brand, under the, just give me one bit.
Best Media Strategy Services.
Under brand, it would be mobility and the ID is 0737. Just search for Best Media Strategy Services under that.
Is this the Airtel 5G case?
You can't say that.
Yeah, this is Kapil Dev 175 not out case.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Got it.
I'm in and I found 737. Thank you so much.
Got it.
Okay, let's start. Your time starts now, Anshu. All the best.
Everyone. My name is Raghavendra and I'm presenting on behalf of Anshu Jain. So we all have been talking about 5G and are curious about how it will impact our lives and how it will function. But not many of us know what 5G could bring beyond speed. And that's what the app timing for Airtel to bring and showcase the full potential of 5G. But how? We found an opportunity in the most popular culture of India that binds the whole nation in one thread, which is cricket. This all happened in 1983 World Cup when India fell in love with cricket. But not many of us were present to witness such budding event. And now, sadly, it's only engraved in the heart and mind of those who were present that day. And of course, it was there in the headlines too. But why? Because BBC, the official broadcaster, was on strike that day. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the legendary innings of Kapil Dev, 175 not out, played by the legend himself. So let me take you directly to a fan who watched this match live and how Airtel 5G enabled him to relive the moment.
Your computer sound is not shared.
Okay.
You are playing it from directly. Just pause the video. I've paused your timer. Please share the sound of the computer as well. Share sound option on the more options. On top, a Zoom session, a Zoom sharing options, you'll find this. I mean, you can reshare the screen as well. While resharing itself, you'll get the option, share sound. While you're choosing the screen which you wanted to share, you'll get the option below, just below that, share sound option.
Share, yes, share sound option.
Yeah.
Is it visible in the slide show?
No, not slides.
Okay. Let me reshare this again. Sorry. Which one?
Yeah. Now we can see full screen.
Sure. I'm replaying the video.
Sure.
Hi folks, I'm Ayaz Memon. As you all know, cricket is not just popular, it's a religion in India. And we have, if you ask anybody on the road or anybody in a group, in your office, at home or wherever, what do they remember? They'll come up with an amazing array of incidents, scores, statistics and highlights about Indian cricket. And the one, of course, which stands out in most minds, certainly in mine, is the 1983 win in England, the World Cup win. Yes, of course, 2011 also we won the World Cup in India, but 1983, that's where the real seed of this, enduring passion in India about cricket was sown. And as everybody knows, and I was an eyewitness to that, everything kind of hinges on that one knock that Kapil Dev played, captain of the Indian team, 175 not out against Zimbabwe at Tunbridge Wells. The broadcasters were on strike. It never went on air. Of course, if you have to ask about that details about that match, you'll have to take my word for it. I have an eyewitness account. But there's also now another way of reliving that innings, and which is where Airtel has stepped in with this 5G technology, which has brought or recreated the magic of that knock for generations, this generation and generations to come. And I'm sure that everybody who watches that is going to have a feel of what it meant for India to win that match, and from there on to the tournament, and then what it did for cricket as a whole internationally. So watch the next film to know more about this.
In a technologically curious young nation like India, where tech is integrated in everyone's lifestyle, 5G is a speed everyone wants to get their thumbs on. For most, 5G meant getting lag-free gaming and content streaming experience. But what more can it do in everyday life? The rising curiosity gave the perfect opportunity for Airtel to showcase the prowess of 5G in its full glory. And for that, we went to the drawing board. For the strategy to land, it had to be at the center of 3 C's: consumer, category, and cultural truths in India. And Airtel found its inspiration at the perfect intersection of this popular culture coupled with nostalgia. The untold story of the momentous World Cup win of 1983 that made cricket the new religion of India. This famed win was in the hand of one of the most nail-biting, fate-deciding match. However, that day, TV broadcaster BBC was on a strike, and hence, it was never documented how Kapil Dev, with 175 not out, led India to victory. Airtel 5G's technological prowess found a way to preserve this milestone. We brought it to life with 175 replayed.
5G की टेक्नोलॉजी से ये आप तक पहुंच जाएगा, उसको मैं शब्दों में बयान नहीं कर सकता.
A powerful idea needs an equally powerful amplification strategy, and we crafted a multi-phase strategy. Phase 1. It was kicked off with a cryptic tweet by Wasim Jafar, which was followed by different brands and cricketers engaging on it, getting the world talking. Phase 2. In a one-of-its-kind event, we made India's first live hologram, enabled by Airtel 5G, where a virtual Kapil Dev interacted with audiences in real time while being in another location. Fans, influencers, content creators, and media personnel saw and amplified the 1983 version of Kapil Dev coming to life in 4K and deliver the 175 not out match and iconic Natraj shot. Phase 3. We collaborated with publications and media houses to cover the event and showcase all the activities through articles and videos. We also chose the integrated context of cricket and sports overall by riding on the ongoing IPL, by partnering with Crick Info and Crick Buzz, and integrated in post-IPL shows.
पर द गेम ऑफ ब्रॉडकास्टिंग भी इतनी बदल चुकी है पार्थिव उस टाइम से अब तक.
बिल्कुल बदल चुकी है. हम तो पहले जब देख रहे थे तो ऐसा था कि खाली पीछे के एक कैमरे से मैच आता था, लेकिन अब तो सारा 360 डिग्री व्यू आता है.
We convinced OTT partners, Z5, Voot, MX Player, to host the content on their platform and even promote it to ensure discoverability. We built a successful surround campaign about the film through TV and digital, where they got whopping 1,500 million impressions on TV, reaching 61% audience, 220 million audience on digital, with 120 million completed views within a week. Result? By recreating the lost 175 not out, Airtel touched Indian hearts and established its superiority and readiness for 5G. Search for Airtel 5G grew 4 times, reached more than 300 plus million consumers in just 1 week, and more than 30 plus million views on the 145 seconds content across platforms. Airtel's innovation score amongst youth grew by plus 200 basis points, which helped brand lead in category for association with 5G. This is just the start, and Airtel 5G is excited to unleash the potential of this and bring you the future, 1 Gbps at a time.
There was a print of 200 plus points for the innovation score. We have seen 4x times increase in the searches for Airtel 5G. We've reached out to almost 300 million plus consumers. And this entire activity generated approximately 30 million plus earned media for the overall innovation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next presentation, entry ID is 757 and the brand is Upstox. Over to the presenter. Okay.
Are you ready?
Can you see the screen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not the full screen.
Is it visible now?
Yeah, no, it's still the comments and everything is present also.
Okay.
You can put it on presentation mode.
Is it visible now?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead, your time starts now. All the best.
Shall I start?
Please go ahead.
How many of you on this call have ever invested in stocks? I'm sure a few of you would be nodding your head. And for those of you not nodding your head in agreement, don't worry, you're not the only ones. In fact, you're amongst the many. Upstox is a stock trading app. Being a late entrant into the category, for us the fight was twofold. Fighting the legacy brands like Motilal Oswal's of the world and fighting the inventors of online discount broking, our big brother Zerodha. And our task was to drive brand awareness and consideration, thus increasing app downloads and user base. But you know what? Only 4% of India invests in stock markets. Because stock market is intriguing for people, lack of knowledge and presence of complex data, along with graphs and charts, makes it even more intimidating. This has kept them in more safer bets, like fixed deposit, gold. After all, it's their hard-earned money. So we devised a two-pronged approach. Firstly, increasing category penetration and getting audiences from the 96% on board with Upstox as their first app when they start trading. And secondly, steal share from competition by getting the 4% to switch to Upstox. But if we had to get the 96% to start investing, we had to simplify stock market jargons for them. Look at an analogy that cuts across the length and breadth of our country. In short, we had to create a culture of investing. Cricket is India's first language. And just like stock trading, cricket too can be complex with its numbers, run rates, strike rates, etc. However, even a common man can easily understand the complex nature of the game. In short, cricket was the perfect catalyst to make stock trading look easy. Also, cricket is not just a sport. Our tastes and preferences over the years have been dictated by cricket. In fact, it's a culture creator. Hence, to harness the culture of investing, we built our annual strategy around the CAP model with cricket at core. Creation, association, and participation for simplifying stock trading. In creation, we created bespoke content to simplify stock market by contextualizing to cricket. In association, we associated with marquee events, giving brands the required rubber for stature and thus building credibility. And in participation, we leveraged opinion makers to participate in conversations with prospective fence setters, educating and nudging them to start their investment journey. Let's take you through the AV on how CAP model manifested and simplified stock market understanding.
To harness the culture, we built our annual strategy around the CAP model. Creation, association, participation. We created Upstox Crick Index. A real-time stock index equivalent of cricket was built to simplify the analogy of trading via cricket. By treating players like stocks, built in a real-time performance ranking algorithm that analyzes batting, bowling, and fielding performance highs and lows. All the data was converted into a popular mnemonic of stock markets, the ticker, but the players as stocks. At Indian Premier League, Upstox Crick Index became the pivotal rating system through real-time report cards during 60 live matches. The journey continued in ICC T20 World Cup, showcasing the pivotal highs and the lows of the players in the game. bespoke content with cricket experts discussing every match using the index. In partnership with the official broadcasters of IPL T20 World Cup, sports, business channels, along with sports data analytics pioneer Indian Cricket Board and ICC. Upstox Cricket Index ended up simplifying trading for a common man and scored a bull run. Upstox leveraged marquee cricket events across the year at global, national and domestic level through Instadia branding. In match integrations, such as the most valuable asset of the match and live commentator mentions. Upstox also unveiled ICC's greatest 11 fantasy team. In our mission to simplify stock trading, we leverage the power of influencers like Pranjal Kamra.
क्या हुआ? इन्वेस्टिंग सीखना है? आप ना बहुत लकी हो। कुछ साल पहले जब मैंने इन्वेस्टिंग शुरू की थी ना, तो मेरे पास बस बुक्स और मैगजीन्स होती थी। लेकिन आप इस तरह के वीडियोस से सीख सकते हो। Welcome to our new series, Learn with Upstox.
Rachna Ranade.
But before we start, welcome to our series, Learn with Upstox. इस सीरीज में हम रेशियो एनालिसिस, इंडस्ट्री एनालिसिस, बैलेंस शीट एनालिसिस और कई सारे टॉपिक्स के बारे में बात करने वाले हैं।
And others. Upstox continued its commitment to participate in demystifying stock trading via regular outreach programs in leading colleges and corporates.
While this was about the 96%, let's now take you through our approach for the remaining 4%. For the remaining 4%, our task was cut out: steal share. These traders were serious daily traders with very mature expectations from a stockbroking firm. Hence, a sharper understanding of their markets, tastes and preferences, and media touchpoints was critical to building a robust strategy. Firstly, to arrive at our priority markets, we gave due weights to 3 parameters: category penetrated non-Upstox households or Delta households, then Upstox app downloads by markets, and share of voice by markets. Market-wise scores were then calculated on these weights to arrive at this prioritization. For our pro traders, their day starts at 7 a.m. when the Shanghai Stock Exchange opens, prepping them up for the Indian stock market, which opens at 9 a.m. During this period, we dominated presence on business news genre and continued till closing of market hours. On digital platforms, YouTube is where they upskill themselves, while Telegram, Signal are their social media destinations for daily tips. For reaching traders post-market hours, when there's a sharp drop in business news viewership, we use the advanced planning module in BARC in collaboration with Kantar IMRB, giving viewership preferences of traders cohort versus demographic audiences. With this, we zeroed on genres, channels, programs watched by traders beyond market hours and made media deployment sharper and smarter. Now that we understood their markets and consumption preferences, we reached out to them with exactly the message they want to hear from us. And not start karke dekho, but the likes of margin trading facility, buy now, pay later, option strategy builder, instant withdrawal option, etc. Lastly, on weekends, when the stock market is closed, we introduce learning content series with finance experts for our pro traders. Thus, with an always-on approach and a clearly differentiated strategy for the common man and trader, we impacted both brand and business results positively. Upstox for the first time crossed 10 million users, surpassing Zerodha, and became India's #1 stock trading app. Dear jury members, I would like to bring to your notice our most impactful idea, Upstox Cricket Index, has been appreciated globally, is born and bred completely in a media agency. Over the course of the year, we had many media firsts like these: consumption-based planning with BARC IMRB data fusion, stock market ticker with players like Stocks, Upstox Cricket Index, which ended up hijacking IPL T20 World Cup and became the unofficial rating system. But the best of all, for the first time in independent India, 19 million Demat accounts were opened in one financial year, and 48% of these were for Upstox. We democratized stock trading, taking India one step closer to financial freedom. So on this note, ladies and gentlemen, Upstox ke saath investment start karke dekho. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Over to the next presentation. The entry ID is 742 and the brand is Google Search.
Is my screen visible, right?
Yes.
Okay, and just a second. The audio also?
Yeah.
Cool. Let me hide the panels also. Cool, all set. Let me know when to start.
Yeah, you can start your time starts. All the best.
You thought of a young Punjabi boy playing a dole, right? I would be amazed to hear if even for a fraction of a second, she would have crossed your mind. Reintroducing to you Jahangeet Singh, a young 21-year-old girl from Punjab. When she was just 14, she was titled India's youngest girl dhol player. And on her journey to become a professional dhol player, she was constantly reminded, often told by the society, कि तुम कुछ लड़कियों वाला काम क्यों नहीं ढूंढ लेती? Like hers, it's the story of millions of women around us. And yes, they are underrepresented across various fields, be it economic participation, education, or even when it comes to land ownership. And all of this despite having equal rights in our constitution. While there are many barriers holding them back, one of the biggest and the most critical one is access to information. Chinese philosopher Confucius said, "The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones." Our social surroundings, our society is akin to this mountain. Hi, I'm Jaspreet, and I'm here to talk to you about our case study for Google India, Search for Change, and how our strategy moved not just one, but two mountains, one stone at a time. Our first mountain was society, and we needed to overcome a silent barrier. The gender-biased voices inside and outside our homes that taunt these women whenever they ask questions. Our task was to point out these gender biases. We had to bring them out of their safe space. हमें इन महिलाओं को ललकारना था. Our second mountain was Google search, ubiquitous to all Android smartphones, with millions of queries popping up every day, but on an English-first internet. Our audience was young women from NCCS BNC who understood English but preferred Hindi. And for them, typing in Hindi was 3 times more difficult than in English. And thankfully, Google already had a product solved for this, voice search in Hindi. अब इन महिलाओं को सिर्फ बोलने से किसी भी विषय पर जानकारी मिल सकती थी. With Search for Change, we wanted to bring to these women the power of information through the power of voice. And in order to do so, we based our campaign on 3 strategic pillars: provoke, converse, and support. But we also realized that in order to move the mountains these large, no one media could have done the job. And hence, based on our in-depth understanding of audience behavior, we crafted a media strategy with clear roles defined of each media touchpoint at every stage. In the provoke stage, our aim was to put focus on the gender biases that surround us in the run-up to International Women's Day. We've all heard of these questions here and there around us, पर हम हमेशा खामोश रहे. जैसे कि लड़कियां सिर्फ घर संभाल सकती हैं, घर से बिजनेस नहीं. ये लड़कों को सूट करता है. तुम क्यों वेट ट्रेनिंग कर रही हो? Strategically choosing India's top 7 cities with the most socially aware and vocal consumers, we used high-impact outdoor as a canvas to bring forward these familiar but uncomfortable questions. And thanks to our strategic placements and familiarity of these questions, it helped us hit close to home. Our next set of stones was designed to spark conversations on the International Women's Day. We used the same outdoor locations to bring forward the stories of 20 amazing heroes from all walks of life. Sushmita Sen, Vidya Balan, Mitali Raj, Jahangeet Singh, Rachna Ranade, and many others. And on the same day, we also launched our hero film Mancha, which depicted how Google search can be an enabler in their journey to break these biases. For example, महिलाओं के लिए बिजनेस लोन का विकल्प, ऑफिस में समान वेतन का अधिकार, equal pay rights, that is. Based on our media principles to break the clutter on that day, we chose roadblocks across TV and DTH, YouTube masthead, Twitter spotlight, and soon we were trending on social media. Our next push was to turn this spark into a sustained movement. And here we widened our media choices in order to increase access for women, thereby increasing Google search queries by women. To orchestrate a powerful storytelling and to inspire these women to act, we deployed 30 unique women-centric use case creatives on the questions that have been left unanswered. We used cross-media optimization techniques across platforms to reach out to these women impactfully. हर जगह एक ही आवाज थी, आप सवाल गूगल से पूछें, जवाब मिलेगा. We widened the scope of digital based on differentiated platforms with differentiated tactics across each of these platforms. And in the end, we used machine learning to identify the low users of Google search app and activated them with action-oriented creatives in order to increase queries. Thanks to our clearly defined approach at every stage and strategic media choices, we were able to move both access for women as well as Google search queries, thereby moving the two mountains we spoke of in the beginning. As a result, we saw a 10% growth in daily usage of voice search, 17% growth in daily usage of regular search, and 21% growth in search queries by women, and overall an 11.6% growth in voice search during our campaign period. The results were significant. It pointed out at a shift in consumer behavior at a scale as massive as that of Google search. Now, with the help of a short AV, let me take you through this sweet journey of search for change.
सर शुभम को मुझसे ज्यादा पे मिलती है सेम काम सेम प्रोफाइल
शिवानी कम ऑन ही इज मैरिड तुम्हें कौन सा अभी घर चलाना है
ऑफिस जाती हो या पार्टी इतना लेट
आंटी काम पे हो जाता है लेट
ये नौकरी छोड़ो या ये घर छोड़ो
Search for Change was designed to demonstrate how voice search on Google is an enabler to women in breaking away from these deep-rooted gender biases. We hinged our integrated campaign on 3 strategic pillars: provoke, converse, support, with clearly defined roles for each media platform in our mix. To start a proactive discourse building up to the launch, we picked 7 cities where the most socially aware and vocal consumers of India reside. We chose outdoor as the canvas to place uncomfortable but familiar questions that women face. Using high traffic locations and impact formats, we ensured that the message hit close to home. On International Women's Day, across the same outdoor locations, we showcased
Sorry, I don't know why the panel is
20 sheroes from different walks of life who have successfully fought gender bias. Simultaneously, we also introduced our hero film Mancha, addressing everyday biases faced by women across YouTube, OTT, Twitter, and GDN to build rapid reach at scale. This combination lit a spark on the internet with women calling out everyday gender bias. We used media strategically to turn this spark into a sustained movement that inspires millions of women. To orchestrate a powerful story, we activated over 30 women-centric creatives with questions that were left unanswered before, instigating her to ask Google for answers. By turning up on topical events like Women's Cricket World Cup and top-rated shows across leading channels, we created relevant high visibility. On YouTube, we activated video ad sequencing for targeted storytelling. We engaged with Gen Z using non-skip formats across the top 4 OTT platforms. We further widened digital experiences with differentiated platforms based on our audience's behavior. By adding a performance layer with first-party data, we identified low users of search to increase usage amongst women. Our strategy and integrated approach built reach and impact at scale, delivering on our goals. We witnessed a 10% growth in daily usage of voice search, a 17% growth in daily usage of search, and a 21% growth in search queries by women. During the campaign period, there was also a 2.6% increase in daily active users and an 11.6% growth in voice search. Search for Change generated earned media close to $500,000. This sparked over 144,000 social media conversations. the highest yet for any Google campaign in India.
आप डायरेक्टर क्यों बनना चाहती हैं?
लड़कियों की कहानियां लड़कों की नजर से कब तक देखेंगे सर?
And with that, बोलने से सब होगा turned into बोलने से सब हुआ. Thank you, judges, for your kind attention.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next presentation, the entry ID is 740 and the brand is Tata Play, that is Tata Sky. Over to presenter.
Tata Play team.
Hi, just give me 10 seconds to set it up.
Yeah. We can see the presenter's screen.
Yeah, we're just setting it up. This is good to go now?
Yeah, we can see the full screen. Yeah, that's fine. You can start. Your time starts. All the best.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Isha and I will be taking you through the case study on Tata Play. 18 years ago, Tata Sky entered the entertainment industry and changed the TV viewing experience for Indians through their world-class DTH services. Since then, Tata Sky has become a household name that is synonymous with DTH. But Tata Sky was noticing the inevitable shift in audiences' content viewing preferences, with customers increasingly consuming content on digital and OTT platforms. With the rising demand for good content, new platforms are growing into becoming top entertainment sources. बदलते समय के साथ बदलना जरूरी है, and Tata Sky didn't want to become another Kodak. So they adapted to this consumer revolution by fully transforming themselves into a content distribution company. Tata Sky leveraged its market leadership in its core business to create an ecosystem of content delivery by foraying into OTT and broadband. They have been adopting new technology and providing services like mobile apps and offerings like Binge Plus that allow access to digital and OTT content alongside linear TV channels. The next wave of growth for the brand was to come from this new trajectory. But was this enough? While Tata Sky was transforming into a platform-agnostic content provider, people still recognized it as a DTH operator. The brand was becoming an ever-growing entity by upgrading itself into the content space with the best quality and variety. But the brand name was so synonymous to DTH that it was holding them back from gaining customer traction for their newer services. The biggest challenge for Tata Sky was its legacy that was built over 20 years. It was time for a unified identity, and the brand needed a name that would be relevant to content consumption of all sorts, regardless of platform. कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है, and we had to say goodbye to Tata Sky and say hello to Tata Play. It takes years to build a brand, seconds to ruin it. But how long does it take to rename it? Unlike other brands, we did not have the luxury of time to establish this rebranding. The limiting association of Tata Sky with DTH category was hurting brand growth. Since the next wave of growth was from OTT content, hence it was imperative to affect the brand refresh immediately. The main objective was to communicate Tata Sky is now Tata Play and help change the brand association from being only a DTH service provider to a content provider. However, we had a set of unique challenges. One, undo limiting associations while maintaining brand credibility. Over the years, Tata Sky has been a well-loved and trusted brand. We had to do away with just the limiting DTH association while ensuring that the brand love and trust continues. Two, establish rebranding at rocket speed. We usually have at least a 4-week window to establish a brand message. Rome was not built in a day, and neither is a brand, but we had the Herculean task to establish rebranding overnight. 3, every Indian was our target audience. Usually, campaigns have a well-defined audience that we target via media. However, since Tata Sky is a household name, we were targeting Indians across every corner of the country. We wanted every Indian to know that Tata Sky has now become Tata Play and there are way more benefits than ever with this new identity. To address the challenges at hand, we arrived at a 3B approach. When deploying media for the rebranding, our solutions had to align on all of the 3Bs. We needed the touchpoints to be believable sources of information, provide brisk impact, and of course, broad reach. Nielsen's 2021 Trust in Advertising study found that television is the most trusted advertising source amongst consumers. And a 2020 Statista India report on reasons for purchasing products endorsed by influencers showed that over 60% respondents do so because they trust the influencer. Layering these insights with maximizing reach for our campaign, we decided to choose the deepest penetrated media for high reach, television, followed by outdoor for quick impact, and digital became important since it is the next content destination for our consumers and also for leveraging trusted influencers. In the good old days, drum rolls were all that were required to make announcements since they grabbed everyone's attention through noise and building curiosity. Today, times have changed and media fragmentation has taken us to the other end of the spectrum. So we had to devise the most efficient way to achieve the fastest and widest reach across the selected touchpoints. We evaluated multiple scenarios and decided to generate high decibel buzz for rebranding, followed by a multimedia plan to convey offerings. Next, we had to execute the announcement at an astronomical speed across ATL, PTL, and point of sale. And to align all of this during COVID would require excruciating groundwork and painstaking planning. And this is how it all played out.
I am Tata Sky, an 18-year-old brand that has been a market leader in the DTH category. हम हमेशा लोगों के साथ चलते और समय के साथ बदलते हैं. I introduced mobile apps to bring the viewing experience to smaller screens. I also created Binge and Binge Plus packs with access to OTT platforms over and above the regular TV channels. But viewers still perceive me as a DTH operator. After all, itne saalon mein I had invested a lot of effort to upgrade viewers from cable TV and thus became synonymous with DTH services. Isko laga dala to life jinga lala meant only and only Tata Sky.
एक बार फिर से बोलिए जी.
टाटा स्काई अब टाटा प्ले है जी.
आपका सेइंग स्टाइल जी.
Enter Tata Play. We had the refreshed brand name.
PLAY, Play.
We had the new offerings.
Just amazing.
Now the task at hand was to replace Tata Sky to Tata Play in millions of consumers' minds overnight. The strategy was to bombard audiences with name change communication and then follow up with all services being offered. For TV, a simple campaign wouldn't cut it. Our communication needed to be loud and distinctive. We planned a high decibel innovation with Star, the biggest network with the highest reach across India. To announce the arrival of Tata Play, we executed a 2-day roadblock across 54 channels of Star Network. On 27th and 28th Jan, viewers saw only and only Tata Play ads. These ads played for over 660,000 seconds with 30 plus creatives in 8 languages. We were playing to win. So we went all out on the network. Even leading protagonists from top shows were made into our brand ambassadors with customized in-show vignettes.
टाटा स्काई अब हो गया है टाटा प्ले. नाम बदल डाला क्योंकि एंटरटेनमेंट और भी जिंगा लाला.
Tata Play's breaking news Aston bands ran across 40 channels to amplify the announcement. Over the next 7 weeks, to make the communication relevant to different audiences, we planned genre-specific messaging. Netflix with Tata Play and Binge combo messages were targeted to the more premium audience on niche HD and English channels. Value-based communication like no relocation charge and free service charge were targeted on free-to-air channels and through robust cable channel plan. We played our trump card with TV, but we also took the brand transition to outdoor with back-to-back hoardings in the metros. While our TV promotions were playing on repeat, we also layered it with digital medium for building incremental reach through YouTube, social and news platforms, and for sustaining credibility through a full-fledged influencer marketing activity for promotion and advocacy. Through partnerships with 225 mega, macro, micro and nano influencers, 225 branded content videos were generated that played for over 5,000 seconds. हाँ, अब तो सबको पता चल गया है, Tata Sky is now Tata Play. The transition to Tata Play was established in just 2 days of the campaign. The roadblock on Star Network resulted in a 50% total awareness score for the rebrand. Within a week of the campaign, there was an 88% recall for the name change.
Last minute.
And an 85% recall for the communications that were aired. With digital, we reached more than 37 million people, generating over 51 million engagements and more than 47 million video views via influencers. The overall campaign reached more than 783 million people. It took the brand 20 years to build 90% awareness for Tata Sky, mere seconds to wipe the name, and just 6 months to build 80% awareness for Tata Play. Quite the power play, don't you think?
And this is how we achieved the objective we had set out for ourselves in just a matter of 2 days. With that, I close my case study. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Ad Club.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, the next presentation, entry ID 751 and the brand is FirstCry. Over to the presenter.
Hi, am I audible to everybody?
Yes.
Give me 1 second. It's 5 seconds, just setting it up.
Good.
Are you ready?
Just
कोणाची त्यांचं ते हेच आहे काय ते
Yeah, I'm ready.
You can start. Your time starts. All the best.
Okay, awesome. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I am Vidhi Joshi here to present a case study on FirstCry. E-com, one of the fastest growing sector in India with an estimated growth of 27%. Media investments reflect the same sentiments. Amazon media investments are next to FMCG giants like HUL. The pandemic has further accelerated media spends of e-com giants by 82%. FirstCry, the omni-channel retailer that focuses on baby and mother care products, was operating in this highly cluttered media space. Hence, the marketing objective was to create awareness, which would lead to business growth. Our objective was to reach out to new age moms with only 1/10 media budget. Like any other advertiser in the country, television presented opportunity to create base level awareness. However, what percentage of the TV watching universe was even relevant for FirstCry? Out of the 891 million BARC universe, the FirstCry audience was only 9%. How could we reduce the apparent 91% wastage by deploying the spends on the right channel? Does BARC even have enough sample size that was relevant for FirstCry? BARC sample size is roughly about 50,000 households. A 9% of that would mean a mere 4,500 sample size representing FirstCry TG. Motherhood brings in new challenges. Every single day, these moms go through self-evaluation and ask themselves questions. How good a mother am I? She feels lack of control and feels pressure of idolization. Many mothers feel guilty that they are not doing a good job as compared to other mothers, peers, or their own parents. FirstCry wanted to comfort these worrying mothers by becoming their ally in giving the best to their child. But how could we do all of this with just 1/10 media budgets as compared to other players and with only 9% addressable TV audience? we decided not to base our decisions only on bark. We decided to rather go back to each mother who chose FirstCry and was part of the FirstCry DMP. The FirstCry DMP is a strong base of more than 80 million mothers, which is the biggest base in whole of APAC. Surveys were created for our own audience viewership monitoring system, which we named as DARK, Digital Audience Research Council. In comparison to BARC, with just 4,500 household sample size, the DARK sample surveys are about 20 to 30,000. This gave us robust data points to build our own TV strategy, planning, and buying matrix. Let me quickly take you through the key highlights of DARK modules. The survey system. It is synced with our database, allowing us to build our own if-then-else journeys, leading us to gain valuable insights in just few hours. The media survey is a one-time configuration in the system. The entire survey targeting syncs with our database to ensure that it is served to the right people. We get reports once a week and a comprehensive dashboard every quarter. Since our task was to create awareness for FirstCry, we needed to understand the media habits of new audiences coming to our platform. Therefore, we target our surveys to various segments, which helped us to further optimize our media deployments. We try to drive unique views as much as possible. The survey is served 24/7, keeping us updated on insights. The data is now used to identify shifts in TV viewing behavior and modify our media strategy accordingly. To make you understand DARK better, please let me put the AV.
Meet Anya. Anya is a new mom. Like most moms, she constantly wonders if she's making the right decisions. While she is still figuring motherhood, one thing is for sure. She wants to do the best for her child. FirstCry wanted to target Anya and new age moms like her. The last few years have seen exponential growth in media spends for e-com sector, creating huge media clutter. Our task was to create awareness for FirstCry, which had less than 1/10 of the media budget as compared to e-com giants. TV presented a key opportunity to create awareness. However, what percentage of the TV watching universe was even relevant for FirstCry? Our research showed that out of the 891 million BARC universe, the FirstCry audience was only 9% of the overall BARC base. Further dissection revealed that the BARC panel has 50,000 households. 9% of this meant a mere 4,500 sample size, representing FirstCry TG. Maximizing our presence within the addressable TV audience was essential, and using BARC was not a reliable option. To create our media strategy and plans, we decided to rely on our own database. The FirstCry DMP has a strong base of more than 80 million mothers, the biggest base of mothers in APAC. We asked them questions on an ongoing basis that helped us create our own audience and viewership monitoring system, which we call it as Digital Audience Research Council or DARK. As compared to 4,500 sample size of our TG in BARC, the average sample size of DARK surveys is 20 to 30,000. Annually, the sample size reaches 50 to 75,000. DARK survey system is synced with our database. Reports are generated once a week, a detailed dashboard every quarter. The survey can be modified and made live in real time. Surveys are targeted to various segments such as new registrations, new app installs, first-time buyers, etc. The survey is served to our TG 24/7, which keeps us updated on insights. The data is used to identify shifts in TV viewing behavior and modify the media strategy on an ongoing basis. Few genre-level decisions made using DARK insights. With rising cost of TV advertising, most brands have moved to shorter edit and functional creatives. Going against the industry norm, we chose long-form ads of 45-second and 30 seconds to build deeper connect. DARK findings helped us understand it is often easier for people to learn new concepts and information in mother tongue. Hence, we increased our investments on regional channels. HD channels have grown in terms of viewership. Also, these channels have shown higher acceptance in Tier 2 cities to reach out to these aspirational high-value mothers. We prioritized our investment on HD channels. DARK Insights established higher recall for content integrations as compared to commercials, all the more during reality shows. This helped us craft a round-the-year content integration model for reality shows for FirstCry.
FirstCry.com पे ढेर सारी शॉपिंग कर ली।
मैंने तो स्पोर्ट्स के आइटम्स भी मंगाए हैं और मैंने अपने लिए बहुत सारे जैकेट्स मंगवाए। मैंने भी अपने लिए बहुत कुछ खरीदा। We love shopping on FirstCry.com.
Moms follow movies during weekends, helping us to plan movie channel activity during weekends. Planning principles derived basis outcomes of dark. Most moms prefer to tune into leading channels at least once in a day. This helped us prioritize leading channels across markets and cutting down on long tail of channels. 78% moms have more leisure time during prime time hours. Hence, we skewed more spots during prime time. Friday is the busiest day for moms. We avoided scheduling spots on GECs on Fridays. We stayed away from irrelevant content highlighted by dark surveys. Moms respond to repetitive and high-frequency messaging in a negative manner. Hence, we control the plan frequency on a daily as well as weekly level. Long weekends are usually meant for traveling or family or friends get-togethers. Considering this insight, we avoided media presence during such holidays. Removed non-relevant genres like sports, kids, news, English entertainment and movies, niche, lifestyle, devotional, infotainment. Meet Anya.
Here are some business results on the back of dark. 30% growth in app installs, 25% increase in website traffic. Some more positives include massive 36% increase in direct visits, 1.2 times jump in acquisitions, more than 10% rise in traffic during weekends. We stayed away from making a standard TV plan garnering 50% reach at 3+. 4,500 household samples of Bark versus 50 to 75,000 samples of Dark. We chose content stickiness over CPRP. We prioritized placements of frequency capping over AOTS. Prioritized high definition unlike any other advertiser. Finally, Dark helped us to look deeper into mom's content consumption within TV and put us on a journey to recraft TV strategy on a weekly and quarterly level. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next presentation. The entry ID is 720 and the brand is Dunzo. Over to the presenter.
Hello. Hello, is my audio okay?
Yes.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, but not the full screen.
Sure. Is it visible now?
Yes. Are you ready?
I am. Can I start?
Yes, your time starts now, August.
Hello, I am Anindo, and today I am going to tell you about the masterstroke that Dunzo played when the country was watching IPL. Dunzo was a pioneer in anything to do with delivery. It has built this business over a period of time and rode on organic growth through word of mouth. However, the category total addressable market for anything pertaining to delivery was limited, and beyond a point, it could not scale. Then came the instant delivery services, and Dunzo decided to pivot the business to instant delivery services, albeit a little late. Its strategy on instant delivery was to focus on logistics and expected it to scale up organically. But in instant delivery, a growing category, the need of the hour was to drive scale through awareness and to occupy mind space. It was late to realize this and was late to communicate its core proposition. By that time, many other traditional grocery e-commerce players have already had a head start, and the category became cluttered with multiple players trying to capture the mind space. Dunzo therefore had to stand out in this cluttered market and deliver impact. The category was commoditized and there wasn't any big differentiator in terms of UI, UX and product proposition. Everyone was focusing on the biggest category entry point, and that was quick delivery. It was imperative for Dunzo to connect emotionally with consumers and to carve out a space for itself. Creative campaigns give 2 to 3 times the lift in business metrics compared to an average campaign, and this is what we were gunning for. We pivoted to 3 principles: be quirky, drive curiosity, and finally ingrain the message. Quirk, because it is the cornerstone for fast encoding of any message and for driving affinity for the brand. Curiosity is the key element in piquing the interest of the audiences and make the audience fall for a certain call to action. Ingraining and contextualizing the message is key to mass awareness and stronger adoption rate. It divided the messaging into 3 stages. Firstly, it focused on its strength of having serviced in the metro cities for a long period of time, giving it an advantage over other players in knowing the city better, which it brought to the fore in the form of a starter pack. Then it deployed the message of death of a fridge, a quirky and interesting take on instant delivery proposition. And finally, a strong call to action to close the loop. With entry of quick commerce, the audience for instant grocery delivery, which was primarily considered a homemaker's domain, was breached. The audience became more gender neutral. Due to the efforts by various players, the penetration of instant grocery delivery has widened and is currently the fastest growing category of e-commerce. Primarily, we have targeted affluent adults and digital transactors and convenience seekers, that is, the time-poor audience. However, its operation was restricted to 6 cities since the unit economics worked much better here. Therefore, the media strategy dovetailed into the business objectives of priming the audience and setting the context. We then built on the message through rapid scale creation and moved the audience to installs. We applied Byron Sharp's principle of reaching as many audiences in the category, tempered with attention. In the priming stage, since we wanted to demonstrate our superior knowledge of the city, our best option was to put the relevant information on print. This appealed to the migrants and reinforced the message to the natives. It allowed the people to absorb the long and intense copy, and for going to such lengths, the brand earned a lot of appreciation. The starter pack was a ready reckoner for anyone new to the city. It had a list of interesting things that can be bought in a particular metro. For example, flowers from KR Market in Bengaluru. This was followed with snacks, slangs, and superstars. Print has 25% reach, is a highly affined medium with an ability to deliver impact. In the next stage, we had the challenge of selecting a platform which could help us reach out to our cord cutters, live TV viewers, digital natives and transactors, millennials and Gen Z, with disruption in media consumption post-COVID, with multiple screens and higher digital adoption in general. In addition, we had to continue building on impact and reach our audience at scale. Another challenge was that we needed to create demand as the category was growing, as was the target in-market audience. Our answer, given the complexity, was IPL. Cricket in general and IPL as a property caters to all kinds of audiences and brings the most avowed cord cutters and cord shavers onto its platform. It has scale, attention, emotional involvement, and glamour quotient, which gets subliminally absorbed by the consumers, giving any piece of communication a larger shelf life in the minds long after it's over and quicker for mental availability in a buying situation. Evaluating the time spent in a day accessing the media, we found out that they are digitally always on. Social was a key among them, which makes for a strong word of mouth generation if done right. Hence, we chose IPL on Hotstar. Reach of IPL on Hotstar has increased to 200 million, and with the cohorts, we could also focus on our TG and geography. Not only that, to optimize for frequency with a lens of budget, we chose the last 30 matches, which meant that we would operate with ideal frequency per match and leverage the higher viewership garnering phase of the tournament. The campaign on IPL paid tribute to the late Frijesh Kulkarni. It advocated the demise of the fridge with the onset of Dunzo. The hard-hitting and quirky commercial created curiosity. There were multiple renditions of the same, and each piece of content refreshed and reinforced the central message. We reinforced the same message through print again to touch base with the same audience. This had set the stage for our final swan song. We wanted to have a big push for app installs and transactions. We took the route of QR code advertising with a twist. This masterstroke was the grey screen video that was aired. The first part of messaging was a smart nod to the old days when TV signals would face interruptions and viewers would be left either staring at a blank screen or a screen with columns of different colors. After that came the QR code with a smart messaging. Inconvenience is regretted, convenience is not. Scanning the QR code landed them to the Dunzo app and the loop was completed. However, due to its novelty, surprise, and shock, the messaging had a very short shelf life. Therefore, we had to capitalize through significantly quick reach build-up in the shortest time possible and maximize impact. Hence, we took top programs of all the GCs across markets and took IPL finals, all synchronized at the same time, so that if the switching of channels happened due to consumers feeling the ad as a glitch of channel, we could capture them wherever they go. It all came together as one massive, seamless whole, which in the quickest of time possible was able to move the audience through the purchase funnel, from awareness to action. All this compounded and gave us massive payoff. We were able to reach 60% of the audience across the media in just one day. Weekly orders jumped to 2 million, that is 2x of the orders at the start of the campaign. Previous highest order volume day was bested by a massive margin. It led to massive chatter on social media, which was a natural measure of how we built curiosity. Traffic spiked 10x within an hour of the QR code TVC. We stood out, and how? Thank you, judges. Thanks, actor.
Thank you. Next presentation. The entry ID is 719 and the brand is Project Concern International. Over to presenter.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. Just give me a minute to present my screen, please. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Right.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. So hi everyone, this is Pranali Panchal and I'm going to present our work for Project Concern International India. Did you know that with 42.9% stunted children, 22.9% wasted children, 41% underweight children and 63.5% anemic women, Bihar has been lagging behind Indian national averages in maternal and child nutrition indicators. And sadly, mostly rural areas bear this burden. Unfortunately, a two-way link between malnutrition and poverty is proven, creating a vicious cycle with each fueling the other, thus hampering Bihar's developmental goals. To change this dire state, since 2007, the government of Bihar made tremendous efforts in addressing rural poverty through its flagship program, Jivika, run for and by rural women.
By 2016, Jivika had contributed significantly in increasing the incomes of 65% of the households through the Community Investment Fund. However, similar improvements were not observed in nutrition. Hence, a decade later, with the formation of JTSP, it took a step beyond and adopted health, nutrition, and sanitation as an integral part of its strategy. Initial pilot HNS interventions showed encouraging results, but burgeoned to saturate coverage to entire rural Bihar. This forced JTSP to re-evaluate their approach. With the new decade ushering in, the audience landscape was drastically changing and the gender divide was closing in. In 2019, Bihar registered the highest growth in internet users in India across both urban and rural areas. JTSP hence had to evolve with time and take on this opportunity. Thus, to move on from traditional paper-based physical communication assets, Group M was onboarded as a strategic partner to digitize the program to improve efficiency, effectiveness, and reach by bringing its digital and BCC expertise to the table. Our aim was to improve family dietary diversity in Morwa block of Samastipur district of Bihar, which is one of the top 5 highest malnutrition burden districts of Bihar. We had to develop 1 video board and 2 mobile games to help the audience navigate through proper nutrition habits for the mother, child, and family, thus providing them with a gateway to future health and success. But why gamification? Scientific research, case studies, and observations show that games and gamification have an effect on health behaviors. It combines the aspects of technology that are addictive and channels those towards positive behavior change by applying behavioral principles such as nudges, intrinsic motivation, social validation, reinforcement, instant gratification, and more. Building on this, our digital assets had to reach and sensitize the audience across 2 levels. First, the Jivika community cadres, and through them, other rural pregnant and lactating women. Our challenge was to relay our messages and change behaviors through mediums that are uninitiated amongst our rural audience, especially rural women who are still playing catch up to technology. So how did we go about it? We went through 4 stages to deliver what we set out to do. Stage 1, through secondary and primary research conducted by PCI, we accumulated clear insights around the barriers, the triggers, and the key takeaways around nutrition practices. This helped us identify and shortlist 7 key themes to address. Stage 2, we had to marry our digital solutions to the existing digital media arm of PCI Jivika, which was made up of an entertaining drama series called Chatkare Zindagi Ke. This series provided subtle messages around nutrition, layered with associated socio-cultural barriers in a rural setting. Stage 3, we brainstormed to recognize challenges and make room for key considerations that guided our concept and design thinking, such as cost and technology limitations, language and literacy barriers, relatability and comprehension of communication, and common rural design elements for application of behavioral principles. Stage 4 was to finally begin the exciting design and development stage. Let's dive into the family of digital assets that we created. The theme and concepts of our digital assets were designed in a way so as to nudge the audience through different stages of the behavior change journey. So while the drama series grabbed attention of the audience, Game 1 helped the audience realize the issue through self-evaluation. The video bot helped them get comfortable to acknowledge these issues and answer FAQs. And Game 2 helped provide cues to action to increase self and response efficacy by practicing behaviors virtually. We created a persuasive architecture through a well-thought-out approach to gamification on 7 key strategies that have proven to work. Game 1 is a quiz-based game called Chatkare Bhare Sawal that uses video snippets from the drama series as precursors to the quiz questions, taking the player through a journey of self-awareness and self-realization while also helping them identify the socio-cultural barriers and influencing factors surrounding nutrition. So let's have a glimpse at Chatkare Bhare Sawal.
नमस्कार, स्वागत है आपका चटकारे भरे सवालों के इस खेल में। इस खेल को खेलने के लिए आपको सबसे पहले अपना अवतार बनाना होगा। अवतार बनाने के लिए यहाँ अपना नाम लिखें। इनमें से अपना पसंदीदा रूप चुनें। खेल शुरू करने के लिए आगे बढ़ें, क्लिक करें। इस गेम में आपको दिलचस्प वीडियो देखने हैं और उनसे संबंधित प्रश्नों के उत्तर देने हैं। इसलिए वीडियो को ध्यान से देखें और सवालों के सही जवाब देकर जीतें बहुत सारे पॉइंट्स। गेम को आसानी से खेलने में आपकी मदद करने के लिए हम स्क्रीन पर आने वाले प्रश्नों, विकल्पों और अन्य सभी निर्देशों को पढ़कर सुनाएंगे। प्रश्न का उत्तर देने के लिए सही विकल्प पर क्लिक करें। सभी सवालों का जवाब देने के बाद इससे आपको न केवल चर्चा की गई समस्याओं के बारे में जानकारी मिलेगी, हर स्तर के बाद आपको ज्ञानवर्धक तथ्य भी मिलेंगे। ये है चैंपियन बोर्ड। यहाँ आप देख पाएंगे कि अन्य खिलाड़ियों के मुकाबले आपकी रैंक कौन सी है।
In our video board, we made Suman and Mangal a household name through Batiyaye Sumangal Se, where they played the role of an aspirational couple to drive personalized conversations with the audiences on 4 key nutrition themes. Let's have a look at the video board.
नमस्ते भाइयों और बहनों, मैं हूं आपकी दोस्त सुमन और ये है मेरे प्यारे मंगल जी।
नमस्ते।
और आपका हम स्वागत करते हैं आओ बतियाएं प्रोग्राम में।
बताइए, एक गर्भवती महिला को दिन में कितनी बार आहार लेना चाहिए? 1 बार भोजन, 1 बार नाश्ता, 2 बार भोजन, 2 बार नाश्ता?
जी, एक गर्भवती महिला को दिन में कम से कम 3 बार भोजन और 2 बार नाश्ता करना चाहिए।
ये चारों विकल्प दिलचस्प जानकारियों का खजाना है। जिसके बारे में आपको जानना है उसे चुनें और सही बटन दबाएं। श्रेणी 1, गर्भवती महिलाओं और स्तनपान कराने वाली माताओं के लिए पोषण। श्रेणी 2, 6 महीने तक के बच्चे के लिए पोषण। वो 10 खाद्य समूह हैं: अनाज एवं कंदमूल, दालें एवं फलियां, बादाम और बीज, दूध से बनी चीजें, मांस और मछलियां।
ये सफर पूरा करने पर आपको आपके नाम का प्रमाण पत्र भी दिया जाएगा।
तो क्या आप अपनी ये जिम्मेदारी निभा रहे हैं?
Sehat Ka Tadka is an immersive treasure hunt based cooking and shopping game aimed at sensitizing parents to ensure food group diversification in the meals they prepare for their growing child, and how obtaining nutritious food is not an expensive affair but depends on the smart choices that they make. So let's peek into the world of Sehat Ka Tadka.
नमस्कार, हम स्वागत करते हैं आपका सेहत का तड़का के इस खेल में। अब सीखते हैं खेल खेलने का तरीका। अपना अवतार बनाएं और अपना पसंदीदा रूप चुनें, जिनमें से आपको 3 व्यंजन पकाने हैं। व्यंजन की सामग्री बताई जाएगी, उसे याद कर लें। याद रखें, बच्चे को रोने से रोकने के लिए आपको यहाँ दी गई समय सीमा के भीतर सभी सामग्री ढूंढनी होगी। सिक्कों से बाजार से स्वादिष्ट और स्वस्थ भोजन की खरीदारी करने का अवसर मिलेगा। सामग्री का चुनाव करते समय पोषक आहार का ध्यान रखें और पोषण मीटर को पूरा करें। सामग्री को खरीदने के लिए कम सिक्के खर्च करने का प्रयास करें। हर स्तर को पार करने के साथ ही बचे हुए सिक्के आपके खाते में जमा हो जाएंगे। अपने बच्चे के लिए निशुल्क पुरस्कार चुन सकते हैं, दोबारा भी खेल सकते हैं। ये है चैंपियन बोर्ड। यहाँ आप देख पाएंगे कि अन्य खिलाड़ी।
So till date, more than 70,000 Jivika women have been trained on our digital assets who have so far sensitized 350,000 pregnant and lactating women, of which 5,000 plus have actively experienced the games and bought on their own phones, with the remaining being reached out to as we speak. The assets have also piqued the interest of the UP SRLM for integration into their SHG ecosystem. Here are some examples of how our audiences have responded to the intervention. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next presentation. The entry ID is 728 Meesho, adopted by Bhav. Over to presenter.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, not clearly.
Is it clear right now?
Yeah.
Sorry, just give me a minute.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry for the delay. 1 second.
Are you ready?
Not yet. 1 second. Yeah.
You can start. Your time starts. All the best.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to present our case study for Meesho's media strategy and how we help more than 1 million Indians achieve their aspirations. And to start this off, we will begin with an AV. Sorry. Sorry, there seems to be a glitch. 1 second.
Of course, the timer.
Okay, now it's.
Welcome to Bharat, where population online is about 70 crores and about 35 crore people love online shopping. But this consists of convenience shoppers who shop for branded things on Amazon and Flipkart. Meesho, on the other hand, was built for Bharat, the Bharat that has easy access to internet and a front row seat to affluent lifestyles through social media. It's for the Bharat who associates aspiration to shopping online for such kind of clothes and accessories. The Bharat that looks for value in local unbranded shops and bazaars. But Meesho faced a challenge. In September 2021, only 20% of Meesho's target audience spontaneously recalled the brand among top 3 mentions. 80% of these mentions featured Flipkart and Amazon due to their decade-long marketing. That's where we decided to change things. We set out with 2 objectives in mind. Drive top 3 spontaneous mentions by 3 times from 20% to 60%. Double Meesho's monthly transacting users from 20 million to 40 million. For Meesho to succeed in this clutter with a budget which is only 20% Amazon's yearly spends, we needed to think out of the box. And so we did.
Now, how did we do it? By applying insights we found through studying our competition and consumer thoroughly. We studied competition trends and saw that they were almost always on with 50 weeks of activity in a year. However, we did find that there was a slight off season where they were not spending as much between Jan to March. Was there an opportunity here? Maybe so. We also deep dived into consumer patterns. Search trends were consistent throughout the year. However, within a month, there were spikes towards the end and the beginning. This was the salary day effect. If there is intent in the market at these points, do we then create an opportunity for consumers to come to Meesho? Now, how did we deliver on these insights? We narrowed down on 3 pillars of our strategy: presence, relevance, and prominence. In presence, we recognize the need to be always on. With Jan to March identified as an off-season, we saw this as a window of dominance to build mental availability. And since we were a new brand and needed to build spontaneous awareness, we went back to the old school FMCG principle of recency. We took learnings from Byron Sharp and looked at industry benchmarks to arrive at optimal frequency levels. Reaching out to at least half our audience twice a week was imperative through the largest reach medium, TV, and where TV was under-indexed, we added a layer of digital as well. For our second pillar, relevance, we wanted high affinity choices in our media and timing of communication to drive spontaneous awareness to the right consumers. Digital is highly fragmented and different platforms play different roles in consumers' everyday life. Hence, our strategy on digital was to identify the user based on consumption patterns and create multiple cohorts. The cohorts that were created were 3 mutually exclusive segments. The lowest hanging fruit being the e-commerce transactors. These were users who transact regularly on the internet. We use data signals from partners like InMobi, SMS data from Airtel and Jio, and transacting data from PayU to identify and target the segment. Only transactors. These were users who used internet only for payments and not e-commerce transactions. We used partners like PhonePe and Paytm to identify and target this segment. And finally, only internet users. These were users who used internet only for social media and video consumption. This being the largest segment was addressed on YouTube, Meta, and ShareChat, excluding the previous two segments from our targeting. We also looked at relevance in terms of consumer propensity to buy. As called out earlier, we noticed peaks in intent to buy within a month with 2x growth in in-market users and leveraged this by running week-long sale campaigns every month during this period leading up to sale day in the first week of the next month. Now we get to prominence. Another key leg for building spontaneous awareness and building associations for memory structures is through innovation and integration. We associated with IPL on TV, India's largest sporting spectacle, which gave us SOV of 27%, the highest in the e-com category during this period. And we didn't stop at that. We also placed our bet on 4 teams with lead trouser sponsorship featuring the brand logo on 44 players. And you know what? 3 out of the 4 teams went on to the semifinals. We leveraged this sponsorship by creating commercials with players, and several formats of content were used across different marketing verticals, including performance marketing. This led to majority of the players used, from Virat Kohli to Mohammad Siraj, being associated most with Meesho during the entire period of IPL. With so much buzz, there was no way you could miss Meesho. Yet, we didn't stop there. We wanted to go local as well, address the Maharashtrians, the Bengalis, the Tamilians, and so on. We selected 8 high-impact properties across markets, such as Anupama, Bhagyalakshmi, Dadagiri, with characters that the everyday Indian can relate to, and its sponsorships and integrations. And just like IPL, we didn't restrict it to just TV. We used the content on social and performance marketing. With so much rigor and work put into our 3 media pillars, we needed to ensure that our principles drove success. Hence, measurement became second nature to us, with weekly, monthly, quarterly analysis in place to course correct our media choices. All this was monitored real time on an integrated dashboard, which captured data across media, research, and client data inputs. We tracked correlations between inputs like ACD, reach, frequency, platform-wise eCPV and VTRs, etc., and married it to output metrics like spontaneous awareness and app opens. We tracked app opens of TV spotting through viscosity modeling. Learnings from Jan to March campaign of last year were applied while selecting genres, channels, and deciding spotting levels in the campaigns that followed. ADH helped in analyzing geo into cohort into creative level performance from a conversion rates point of view, and helped in determining the brand versus perf overlap and optimize for the same. We also deployed Brandometer over and above the standard BLS to study the campaign's effectiveness across audience cohorts. With our consistent tracking of data, we were able to modify both strategic and tactical media choices. We deprioritized Metro NCCS A1 segment, as the spontaneous awareness here did not respond to the creative at the time. We focused more on fiction shows over non-fiction shows for impact. We improved TV spotting in movies and non-primetime GECs due to their cost efficiency in driving app opens. On digital, we discontinued planning at an all-India level and moved towards regional planning based on ADH findings. We also discontinued cohorts which had high overlaps and deployed product creators which worked at a market level. From Jan to June, we achieved an overall integrated reach of 290 million at 8 to 10 frequency. And did all our efforts translate into the desired results? Let's have a look.
Guess what? Our top 3 spontaneous mentions tripled from 20% in September 2021 to 60% in June 2022, achieving Meesho's ambitious target. Meesho is now the first e-commerce brand that comes to the minds of the aspiring working class of India. Average orders on sale days grew 30% in 6 months from 4.1 million in September 2021 to 5.3 million in June 2022. And monthly transacting users went from 20 million in September 2021 all the way to 42 million in June 2022. Now that's real growth. In states where brand health was higher, performance marketing was able to deliver orders with fewer impressions burnt. The impression to order conversion rate of performance campaigns was up to 3.5 times higher in the strongest brand health state compared to the weakest. This is a testament to how e-commerce can be built for Bharat, keeping the Indian consumer at heart and in the process making place for Meesho in their hearts.
And that's the way we made millions of dreams, wishes, and aspirations come true for Bharat. Do keep in mind that the results that you saw were just the first 6 months of the year, and we had an even better journey in the second half of the year. So we'll see you at the next Emvies for the same. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next presentation. The entry ID is 735 and the brand is Meesho, building for Bharat.
Hi, my name is Reema. I'll just share my screen.
Yeah.
Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. Let me know and I'll begin.
Yeah, you can start. Your time starts. All the best.
Thank you. Okay, so good afternoon. I will be taking you through the journey of Meesho seller onboarding strategy, which helped to digitize the soul of Bharat's economy, its local businesses.
Bharat is a land of opportunity for small businesses. It has about 630 lakh MSMEs. But out of these, only a mere 10 lakh have taken their businesses online. Meesho is a fast-growing, homegrown e-commerce brand working on bringing India's local bazaars online to give wings to the vision of democratizing e-commerce. With its growing customer base, its seller base also had to grow proportionately to meet the demand. But the challenge was, as of December 2021, only 20% sellers recalled Meesho spontaneously after Amazon and Flipkart. So we designed our two key objectives. Increase supplier base by about 1.6 times from 3.8 lakhs to 7 lakhs. Increase top 3 spontaneous awareness 3 times from 20% to 60% among sellers. Given that there aren't any readily available signals to identify B2B audiences, we had to think of surrogate signals while being cost effective. We kept data at the heart of our strategy and made wise choices with our partnerships. We tied up with Karza to identify seller bases, their registration and GST details. We also used Karza pin codes to identify supplier hubs. We worked with telecom partners Jio and Airtel to identify sellers via the usage apps such as JioMart and Airtel retailer Mitra and software such as the Jio POS Lite. We leveraged InMobi's appography tech to identify users of apps like PhonePe and Paytm for business to further build our seller base targeting. This magnanimous task resulted in an extraordinary feat. We identified 15 lakh sellers. But we had a tall ask ahead to convert about 3.2 lakh of these sellers. An even taller task was to change their perception that Meesho was for them and not just for branded sellers with expensive products. Social listening revealed poor sentiment for Meesho among Bharat's local business owners, and that they would not be able to meet customers' unreasonable expectations. But most importantly, they had a hard time trusting Meesho's customer base, knowing it is new to the market. The challenges were tough, but were met head-on with a well-thought-through strategy.
Now we'll dive straight into what the strategy was. So in February, we had the India Bhar Mein Chha Jao campaign to educate sellers on the opportunity that Meesho offered to small local store owners to gain access across India, which they didn't have before. And in June, we had the Sahi Sahi Customer to Business Ek Number campaign, which promised sellers rapid growth if they could just change the negative biases they held regarding online shoppers, where they felt they just wanted to go for flashy or branded products. Now, given that we had these exciting communication pieces in place, these deserved an effective media representation as well. So we built out our strategy on 3 key pillars: presence, relevance, and prominence. And I'll be taking you through each one independently, beginning with presence. Here, we chose TV to build reach with minimum wastage and smartly deployed our communication on only the business important states for Meesho. Further, we chose only relevant genres, which were the business segments within news channels and movies, because we knew these had a high male skewed affinity, and we knew that our seller base was also 85% male. Next, coming to the relevance leg, here digital was chosen as the lead medium, as it could offer optimized targeting to sharply target only the relevant audiences we wanted to reach out to. We knew here that we needed to drive a campaign with at least 72% reach at a frequency of 7 to drive conversion. Before I touch upon prominence, we'll dive a bit deeper into relevance, as it has two legs to it: audience identification and audience activation. First, coming to audience identification, we used a combination of probabilistic and deterministic signals from data partners across digital platforms in Meesho's priority markets. On Google and Meta, we ingested the data from Karza, which was our seller identification database, and further segmented it by market to create targetable universes on Google and Meta. On Airtel and Jio, our telecom partners, we created seller segments using the apps they had, such as JioMart, Jio POS, and Airtel Retailer Mitra. This also helped us to identify sellers. And lastly, we partnered with InMobi, our tech partner, using appographic data of users of Flipkart and Amazon sellers, and PhonePe and Paytm for business. This is how we identified the 15 lakh seller database. But now this also had to be activated. So for audience activation, we created different cohorts to target them with communication specifically crafted to address the unique barriers they had to registering on the platform. For our already active users, we used brand videos and call to action statics to reinforce and leverage the love they already had for the brand and encourage repeat usage amongst them. For our lapsed users, we made personalized creatives to address the specific problem areas, such as perception of lack of seller support, which was making them hesitate to come back to the platform. And for the skeptics who were skeptical of using Meesho, the platform, we deployed feature-led videos to emphasize the benefits and features of the platform, along with testimonials to build trust for Meesho. Now, coming to the last leg, prominence. Here we used high impact OOH to achieve localized reach in supplier hotspots. These were handpicked by layering Karza pin codes onto InMobi's polygon mapping technology to reach out only to the specific seller hotspots. Further, to top it all up, print was also added to build credibility. And this is how our entire strategy was put in place. With this in place, we had to devise also a real-time monitoring plan to course correct our media choices in real time. For this, we triangulated 3 types of data: media health data, brand health data, and business health data. Midway through our campaign deployment, we took a call. We eliminated TV from our mix and stuck to a combination of digital, outdoor, and print, resulting in cost savings for the brand. With all of these strategic levers working simultaneously in harmony, we drove the best outcomes for Meesho, and the results are here for all of us to see today.
Meesho touched lives of thousands of people and drastically changed the way they did business. This generated over 500 plus crores in income for individual entrepreneurs and customers in more than 4,500 tier 2 plus cities. Sellers couldn't stop smiling. They grew their online business with Meesho by 30%. Most of these sellers are now creating jobs for their communities and are Meesho's true evangelists in their mission to democratize e-commerce for Bharat. Against marketing objectives, Meesho's top 3 spontaneous mentions among sellers grew 3 times, from 20% in December 2021 to 58% in June 2022. Against business objectives, Meesho's seller base grew more than 185%, from 3.8 sellers in December 2021 to 7 lakhs in June 2022. The Q1 and Q2 campaigns helped Meesho to achieve 70% of the 2022 seller base target in just the first half of the year, allowing Meesho to save allocated budget for the rest of the year and plow it into their product expansion on the platform just in time for the critical festive sale season. But more than this, it meant that Meesho transformed lives of businessmen across the country. Shan Ansari, all of 19 years from Panipat, had to drop out of school after the pandemic brought his father's handloom business to a halt. But Shan was unfazed. He is reviving the family business by manufacturing doormats and selling them on Meesho. Another beacon of inspiration is the young Divyanjali. She became one of the youngest sellers on Meesho. She's running a successful business and creating opportunities for other women around her. Mr. Khandelwal, one of our most enterprising entrepreneurs from Jaipur, has built a booming business of 60,000 plus order in a short span of time. he provides employment to over 500 people and many of them are women. Meesho helps create and sustain livelihoods of sellers of Bharat. That's how we have helped 7 lakh entrepreneurs realize their entrepreneurial dreams from the convenience of their homes and without any capital investment.
That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. As we have completed one category, let's take
So
a
we
break
just
for
have this 2 minutes break for the presenters and juries.
jury members. By the time you can finish scoring for all the entries, if you have missed out anything, and we will start again in 2 minutes. Smita, shall we start?
Yes. Okay, the next category. Best Media Innovation Digital Video. And the duration will be 7 minutes per presentation. Starting the first presentation, the entry ID is 1971 and the brand is Cadbury Celebrations. Over to presenter.
And I'll just share my screen.
Sure. Let me know once you're ready.
Oh, sorry, just give me 1 second.
Yep.
Yeah, can you see my screen and can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, you can't see the notes, right?
No.
Okay, great. I'm ready to start.
All right. Your time starts now. All the best.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nikita Arora, and I'm here to tell you why Cadbury Celebrations yet again spent crores of rupees to make an ad that was not just a Cadbury ad. Chocolates are usually an impulse buy, mostly for self-indulgence. However, Cadbury Celebrations is different. You see, this one thrives on gifting occasions and festivals, with over 50% of our sales coming from Diwali alone. In 2020, the pandemic came and it changed all of us. Lakhs of people lost their lives and their source of livelihood. The consumers were now focusing only on essentials, and chocolates never made it to that list, rightfully so. Post the lockdown, while the big brands got back on track with their big marketing budgets, it was the small neighborhood stores that were still struggling to get back on their feet. These were the stores that contributed to more than 77% of our brand revenue. As a brand, we stood for generosity. So we realized that if a brand as big as ours was struggling despite big marketing budgets, what could possibly be the plight of countless small business owners? This was an opportunity for us to go beyond than just selling our product and stand for something more purposeful. So, in 2020, we equipped thousands of small business owners with data, tech, and marketing budgets by introducing not just a Cadbury ad, but instead of asking people to buy a box of celebrations, we asked people to go and buy from local shops. We were beyond stoked with what the campaign did, both for the business of the small shop owners and our business as well. But soon we got into the second wave. The sense of gloom was back, but this time it was coupled with fear and grief because almost all of us knew someone in our closest circles who had lost someone to COVID. The environment was no different from 2020. With everyone coping with grief, obviously no one was in any mood to celebrate festivities. The economy had started to recover from the pandemic, but the trade was still optimizing on essentials. The online Goliaths were winning with their deep discounts, and with the explosion of e-commerce, the offline retailers struggled further. Looking back, a few insights emerged. The first was need for scale, because for every store that was featured in 2020, there were hundreds of other stores that were not. By now, the adoption to digital had accelerated. Most local store owners heavily relied on their personal WhatsApp numbers for conducting their businesses. This was their brand website. Moving beyond text-based assets, we now wanted to give people shareable video assets, something that they would be proud of. So, we only got the biggest brand ambassador and the superstar in the country, Shah Rukh Khan, to be the face of countless small businesses. Now, what we did was that for every PIN code, we identified and partnered with local stores from 5 festive-dependent categories. So there was clothing, footwear, electronics, opticians, and sweets. Also, reminder, these were stores that had little or no information online. This information was then fed real-time as an input to the AI for modeling, basically to create Shah Rukh Khan's voice modulation and face movement so as to personalize the store names for every single ad based on their PIN code. For 500 PIN codes. So effectively what we did, we set up 1,500 campaigns and we automated the entire process right from feeding the retailer information to the setup, to the campaign, review, activating everything without a single manual intervention. And like I said before, there were millions of small businesses that got impacted, which were still not covered. So we gave the power to the people to create an ad for their own local store or for a store in their neighborhood, giving everyone's business a chance to make Shah Rukh their brand ambassador. Let me show you this through the AV.
Big businesses and brands that suffered during the pandemic found their way back, but the smaller stores still suffer.
This lockdown has been a real tough phase of my life. I have seen bad days, but this was the worst.
Last year, we helped small businesses through Diwali. So this year, we decided to bring it back. Presenting not just a Cadbury ad. This Diwali, we helped hundreds of small businesses by making India's biggest brand ambassador be their brand ambassador.
इस दिवाली आप भी ना अपने पास वाले फैशन और एम्पोरियम से ही कपड़ों की शॉपिंग करना और फिर एम्पायर फुटवेयर नाम तो सुना होगा अपना स्टाइलिश चश्मा बगल वाले हेवन आई ऑप्टिशियन से ही लेना सिद्धि विनायक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स से लेटेस्ट स्मार्टफोन खरीदकर धमाकेदार सेल्फी पोस्ट करना
क्या कर रहे हो? मीठा लाए कि नहीं?
लाया हो ना यार, अपने पास वाले रोशन किराना से। आप भी अपना मीठा वहीं से लेना।
We used machine learning to recreate Shah Rukh Khan's face and voice to take the local store names in the ads.
इस दिवाली आप भी ना अपने पास वाली चॉइस ऑफ फैशन से ही कपड़ों की शॉपिंग करना। पास वाले आजकल फैशन से ही, रॉयल फैशन से ही, एमके क्लॉथ्स से ही, पास वाली लक्ष्मी कलेक्शन से ही कपड़ों की शॉपिंग करना। इस दिवाली आप भी ना अपने पास।
Different versions of the same ad with local store names were targeted as per the PIN code of the viewer, showing them only the nearby stores. But it is impossible to cover all the stores. So we gave the power to the people to create their own version of not just a Cadbury ad. Any small business owner could promote their stores through their own social media networks like WhatsApp forwards and other social media pages.
हमारे आसपास की जो दुकानें हैं, उनकी दिवाली भी तो मीठी होनी चाहिए।
Celebrations, not just a Cadbury ad.
We covered over 500 PIN codes, promoted 2,000 plus owners through the ad alone. Over 130,000 ads were generated from the microsite. The campaign set new benchmarks for all clients across CPG and new engagement benchmarks for Mondelez. It was a spectacular rescue for our business, and we sold over 33 million packs and generated PR worth $6 million. We also take comfort in the fact that we contributed in a small way, whether the Confederation of All India Traders clocked a 74% increase in the sales for Diwali. The campaign also brought home India's first ever titanium, over 8 Grand Prix and over 100 plus awards won, both nationally and internationally. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next presentation, entry ID is 1968 and the brand is Cadbury Dairy Milk.
Hi everyone, just doing a quick audio check.
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. I'm just going to share my screen here. Okay, you can see the purple screen, right?
Yes, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead. Your time starts now. All the best.
Hello judges and good afternoon. I'm Sabira and I'll be talking to you about how we got Indians to say thank you with a Cadbury. For over a decade, Cadbury Dairy Milk has grown on the back of Kuch Meetha Ho Jaye, establishing themselves as the first taste of chocolate in India. And as a category leader, Cadbury Dairy Milk has consistently had a presence on some of the biggest cricketing events. But we all know how incredibly cluttered this space is, and multiple brands clamor to sponsor specific teams and cricketers. And IPL is one of the most cluttered properties, where brands use it as a platform to drive impact through the sport of cricket, primarily in a very self-serving manner. And of course, to get the most of their communications, brands choose to focus on players who either draw large crowds to the stadium or those who have a huge social fan base, basically the stars of the game. However, there is another set of stars who toil behind the scenes, the ones who lay the ground, quite literally, for these stars to perform and enthrall everyone and help them garner all the love, fame, and recognition. But for the ground staff, let alone getting the fame, they don't even get acknowledged. Such was the power distance between the two. While other brands use cricket to their advantage alone and create impact through cricket, many miss that there is an opportunity to leave a longer lasting impact on the sport itself and create impact on cricket, on the cricket community and the cricketing fraternity. As a brand that stands for acknowledging the unacknowledged, as you saw by my colleague in the previous presentation, Cadbury Dairy Milk set out to melt this massive power distance that existed in the biggest cricketing tournament in India, the Indian Premier League. Our goal was to acknowledge and show gratitude to the people who help make the magic in cricket. For a set of people that are always ignored, Cadbury didn't only thank them, we sponsored them. Presenting Cadbury Dairy Milk, the proud sponsors of the ground staff. Our idea of acknowledging the real stars is by walking the talk, by giving them the treatment they deserve. From a celebrity designer-made jersey to a 5-star hotel stay, and a forum to rub shoulders as equals with the top cricket stars. Not just that, we leveraged our partnership with Star Sports and replaced that typical pre-match coverage of IPL teams and players with the stories of ground staff, which were promoted across social media. Let us take you through the wonderful journey.
In a cricket-obsessed nation like India, cricketers get all the love and attention from everyone. But the ground staff who work tirelessly behind the scenes go unacknowledged. So this cricketing season, let's celebrate the ground staff too. Introducing Cadbury Dairy Milk, proud sponsors of the ground staff. A sponsorship that pampers, indulges, and treats the ground staff just like the stars.
With Cadbury, provide the ground staff with something designer, something cool, something that also makes them feel like superstars.
From designer uniforms to the best hotels. From their nutrition and fitness to their daily commute. All taken care of. From the start of the cricketing season to the end of it.
हर स्टनिंग कैच के पीछे फील्डर का हाथ और इनका साथ होता है। बॉल जब स्टैंड्स की तरफ उड़ती हुई जाती है, तो उसके स्वागत की तैयारी यही करते हैं। बैटर का फुटवर्क जहां जाता है, वो पिच यही बनाते हैं। इस T20 सीजन कैडबरी डेयरी मिल्क और स्टार स्पोर्ट्स सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं ग्राउंड स्टाफ को, जिनकी मेहनत से होता है हर मैच मुमकिन।
पहले से हम लोग को शब्द और मामा ही बोलते, खास वजह से कुछ नहीं, पहले से।
हमारे बारे में भी पूछते हैं कि कैसा चल रहा है, क्या ये है जो हम लोग को अभी सुविधा मिल रहा है। तो इसके लिए मैं पहला हमारा मुंबई क्रिकेट एसोसिएशन को और उनको पदाधिकारी है उनको और कैडबरी को पहला तो थैंक यू बोलना चाहूँगा। उसके बाद हम लोग को आने जाने के लिए बस है इतना बड़ा, मतलब बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है।
सर देखिए, लाइफ में सर देखो 5 स्टार होटल में कभी रहा नहीं, तो फिर रहने का मौका मिला कैडबरी की तरफ से। हम लोग होटल से ग्राउंड में आते और ग्राउंड से रहने का नाइट में होटल में जाते, तो बहुत अच्छा लगा कि इतना बार अपन मेहनत करते तो कुछ ना कुछ चीज़ अपने को देखने को मिलता है। ये बहुत खुशी अच्छा लगता है।
मैंने बोला आप लोग दिल से काम करते हैं अपनी कंट्री के लिए, अपनी स्टेट के लिए, महाराष्ट्र के लिए, करते रहिए। कैडबरी डेयरी मिल्क आपकी मेहनत ऐसी हमें दिखाती रहेगी।
अच्छा लगता है, पूरी टीम एक साथ है।
बहुत गर्व फील हो रहा है कि हम भी देश के लिए कुछ करते हैं।
This cricketing season, let's celebrate the ground staff too, the unacknowledged superstars.
So what did we achieve? The blessings from the ground staff and the love from the people helped us deliver phenomenal business results as well as brand lifts and earning us earned media coverage worth $1 million. And despite the brand impact we had, the true impact we made was when we realized that Jay Shah, the president of the BCCI, announced an insurance money of 1.25 crore rupees as well as $1 lakh each from the Mumbai Cricket Association. Also, this led to a big change in individual cricketers also thanking the ground staff. As I wrap up my presentation, I'd like to thank all the behind the scenes contributors to this online Emvies event. Thank you.
Thank you. Next presentation, the entry ID is 1938 and the brand is Johnny Walker. Over to presenter.
Hello everyone, am I audible?
Yes. Please share the screen.
Are you ready?
Should I begin?
Yeah, you can start. Your time starts. All the best.
Humans are social animals. We've heard this for years, but have we understood what it truly means? In 2020, we spent close to 2 years locked in our homes with limited interactions and experiences of the outside world. Young millennials now started giving a spotlight on boring everyday life events. And this explained the meteoric rise in digital users, all-time high MAUs, and high time spent across multiple channels, especially on social media. New consumer behavior now is not about just creating experiences. It's about creating Instagrammable experiences. If it's not on the gram, then it has not happened. The new consumer behavior, social media's likes, shares, and comments are now an integral part of their mental well-being. Why was this happening? Behavioral experts have recorded this phenomena during COVID as looking glass self, which means we never truly see ourselves. We need a reflection from others to understand who we really are. Experts says this releases more dopamine and oxytocin than even when we drink or we smoke. So, how do we create these Instagrammable experiences in a way that they don't find us preachy? And how do we do it as an alcohol brand with the barrage of restrictions that come with us? Hi, I'm Zoya Kazi, here to talk about how we helped our flagship brand, Johnny Walker, rekindle brand talkability. A brand that stands for keep walking, no matter what the adversity is. In COVID, brand talkability was under pressure for established brands, while the opposite was happening with the younger brands. Research shows brand talkability influences higher brand trials. Hence, the task for Johnny Walker was clearly to increase its talkability. And what better than to exhibit our own brand distinctive asset, the striding man, that has resonated best with our consumers for generations. This meant we had to create a social experience that flaunts this striding man in a never-before avatar to make it instantly viral. On 2021 New Year's Eve, people were coming out and partying after 2 years. It was a perfect occasion for making it memorable for our young millennials. We created a mesmerizing, one-of-a-kind Johnny Walker drone show by exhibiting a countdown of the celebration at one of the biggest party destinations in Goa. Over 500 drones lit up the sky, spanning for over 13 minutes to form the striding man and to deliver a message that encouraged its audience, no matter what the situation is, keep your head high and keep walking in 2022. The show was taken live on YouTube and Meta to garner more reach, along with a strong PR plan. What this gave us was magic. The Striding Man drone show went viral on social media, garnering 8 times more engagement than an average benchmark of 3 to 4 times. The brand talkability index went up by 30% from 86 to 112. The unintended positive consequences went up by 300 basis points amongst the young millennials. Let us have a look at the AV to get a glimpse of the show.
There's no sound.
Not hearing the sound.
Sorry,
I've
Can you
paused
hear
your
the AV?
timer. Just reshare the sound. On top, you have more options, right, for Zoom?
You can't hear the AV?
No. Can you reshare the screen with sound?
Yeah, one second.
Yeah. No, you have not shared the sound yet. Still.
Not visible?
See, while you're sharing, when you click on the share screen, you get the screen which you have to select, right? There itself, you have the option to share the sound. Yeah.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Were longing to come out of their virtual life. During COVID, millennials were longing to come out of their virtual lives and experience the present. Their life revolved around endless posts and stories through social media and validation by their peers. The new consumer behavior was not about creating mere experiences, but about creating Instagrammable experiences. If it's not on the gram, it didn't happen. As an alcohol brand, Johnnie Walker wanted to capture an unforgettable Instagrammable experience this New Year's Eve without hampering their party experience. We chose the most favorite party destination, Goa, to create one of its kind, never done before drone show to showcase Johnnie Walker's Keep Walking spirit in the skies of Goa. Rather than taking up terrestrial branding space where most brands would be present, we took the aerial route. We can't get through one virtual meeting without a tech glitch. Now imagine the complexity of planning the whole drone show, not with just 10, 100, 300, but with 500 drones in the air spanning for over 13 minutes. Let's look at the rigor that created this magic. We obtained permissions from various civic bodies. We finalized a storyboard that formed the blueprint of the entire show. Using AI, the flight paths of the 500 drones were synchronized into a specific formation to create the striding man that stands for Johnnie Walker's iconicity. Standing over 800 feet tall, the striding man walking from left to right and featuring the countdown for 2022 was a spectacle to behold. This was the most Instagrammable moment of 2021's New Year's Eve. This wasn't a day's job. It took multiple rehearsals, numerous trials and synchronizations to be perfected on the New Year's Eve. This spectacle inspired people to hold your head high and always keep walking, pandemic or no pandemic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. The next presentation, the entry ID is 1953 and the brand is Skoda Auto.
Yes, I'm here. I'll just share my screen.
Sure.
Yes, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Good afternoon. I'll just start. If you can start the timer.
Yeah, you can start. Your time starts. All the best.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ayushi Patil presenting to you Skoda's case study, Conquer the Unconquerable. Dear jury, by the end of my presentation, I would like to ask you, what will you choose? Because we know that every choice makes a difference. Skoda is a premium car, brand of car which produces cars like Superb and Octavia in its portfolio. In 2021, the company chose to increase its sales volume with its Skoda 2.0 India project. But in a competitive and a cluttered market like India, which is also a value seeker market, we needed a car in the right segment and at the right price. Thus, Skoda decided to launch its first ever made in India car named Skoda Kushaq in the crossover SUV segment.
which was growing at the rate of 65% year on year. For the first time ever, Skoda chose to name the car with an Indian title to appeal to the Indians. The name Kushak means king in Sanskrit. Launched at a competitive price point of rupees 10.49 lakhs, we indeed were ready to grow in India. But the challenge was, in a cluttered market like India, how do we announce that the king has arrived? And why should people believe in its Indianness? Hence, we decided to associate with something so innately Indian that which the brand can leverage to its advantage and also help us announce the launch of Skoda Kushak. In our quest to define something Indianness and show the Indianness in our launch, we chose to associate with what our country defines as the king of mountains, that is Giriraj or the Himalayas. Himalayas in India from the time unknown have stood for courage, strength, beauty, conviction, peace and adventure, which were also the characteristics of Skoda Kushak. Himalayas in India have stood tall and unconquerable, making it the best choice for announcing the launch. So how did we launch Skoda Kushak in a grandeur manner? One of the most adventurous and popular drives of the Himalayas is through the Rohtang Pass. We selected this as our very own canvas to present to India the new Skoda Kushak. Let's look at the AV to witness the grandeur in action.
Milestones are a big thing. For Skoda, this was the completion of 20 years in India. During this time, driven by the exponential boom in the premium mid-size SUV segment in India, Skoda also launched the Skoda Kushak, its first ever car to be completely made in India for India. It was their flagship model aimed to drive up car volumes in one of the fastest growing economies of the world. This milestone called for a grand celebration, a celebration like never before for welcoming the new king. The question was how? We kept our TG at the center. The potential Kushak buyers are an age group of 25 to 40, adventurous, thrill seekers, and always looking to explore the unexplored. We wanted to give them a spectacle like no other. We thought, what would they choose for their next adventure? Mountains or beaches? Our research response was unequivocal: the mountains. So we decided to deliver an experience like never before. The Himalayas are an integral part of Indian culture. They stand tall with the statement of being unconquerable. They embody courage, strength, beauty, conviction, peace, and adventure. We, along with Skoda India, decided to conquer the unconquerable. Not just by driving to it, but by using the mountainscape as our canvas. At a staggering 10,942 feet above sea level, we found the Rohtang Pass to be the perfect spot to welcome the all-new Skoda Kushak. We conducted the first ever 3D projection at this altitude on the peak of a mountain. With temperatures well below freezing point, 3 months of extensive planning, 12 projectors, 156 crew members, and 54,000 man-hours, we achieved the impossible. The 3D film stood tall as a rock, literally, and celebrated this milestone in all of nature's glory. We soon went viral on social media, and the output was rewarding. With about 21 million impressions, 8.6 million views, 41% view-through rate, 25% higher than the average 15% that most videos have, and an astonishing 2.9 million completed views, which is almost unheard of. Our video managed to set a new benchmark. And for the business growth, Skoda sold an unprecedented 12,000 cars within 6 months of the campaign. And the brand could not have been happier. Milestones are a...
So dear jury, I would like to ask you, now that you have witnessed the grandeur in action, what will you choose? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next presentation, the entry ID is 1969 and the brand is Cadbury Dairy Milk.
Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Give me a minute.
sure. Let me know once you're.
Hmm. Shall I start?
Yes, you can start. All the best.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Nishanta, and today I will tell you why Cadbury recreated its most iconic TV commercial 28 years after its original release. But before we proceed with details about the campaign, I have a few questions to ask. Do you know which Indian cricketer has played the highest number of T20 international matches? Can you name the first Indian archer to rank world #1 in individual recurve, or the first Indian athlete to win a medal in World Champions in athletics? Well, the answers to the question are not Virat Kohli or Neeraj Chopra. These are our top women players who have created history. Harmanpreet Kaur became the first Indian to complete 150 T20 international matches. Deepa Kumari, who is a leading archer, and Anju Bobby George, who has won many laurels for the country. But even after achieving so much, the state of women's sports in India is disappointing. Archaic traditions, getting objectified on the field, poor sporting facilities, and bleak chances of earning a stable income often come in their way of young, aspiring female athletes from pursuing their dreams. Even the ones who break through these barriers often find themselves paid far less than their male counterparts. Moreover, the media and people don't do enough to acknowledge their efforts and achievements. But thankfully, this has become a topic of conversation among young Indians who want to set things right. And Cadbury Dairy Milk decided to be at the forefront of this change of acknowledging the unacknowledged in sports. In 1994, Cadbury Dairy Milk, one of the most loved brands in India, gave the nation one of its most loved advertisements of all the time. A scene of young girl breaking out of the stands to celebrate her boyfriend hitting a century with a six. In 2021, we reimagined the same video to represent a forward-thinking society, where the success of females are acknowledged and celebrated by everyone. Cadbury Dairy Milk re-released the old video with the genders swapped from a male cricketer to a women cricketer, and from a girlfriend dancing and hyping her boyfriend to a boy dancing and hyping his girlfriend. But this new video was released across digital platforms to wish the Indian women cricket team just before they left for 2021 T20 International Series being played in Australia. Now let's look at the
India is crazy about cricket, but the larger share of its love is reserved for male cricketers. Even in 2021, the captain of the Indian women's cricket team was asked, "Who is your favorite male cricketer?" And she replied, "Do you ask a male cricketer who their favorite female cricketer is?" Cadbury Dairy Milk, a brand that stands for generosity, decided to address this gender inequality and acknowledge the unacknowledged by using its own iconic ad of 1994. In 2021, we recreated it shot by shot, except with a powerful gender twist. The nationwide integrated campaign release was timed with the women's cricket team leaving for a tour. India fell in love instantly with Good Luck Girls. From a 13-year-old girl to a Bollywood icon.
Good luck, girls.
To male cricketers to even the International Cricket Council offering to help take the cause forward. Good Luck Girls won hearts and sparked gender conversations in India's patriarchal society.
Cadbury hit it out of the
Brings
stadium.
a smile to your face.
Absolutely iconic in India. Ending with a powerful message of hashtag Good Luck Girls as a tribute to women athletes.
But more importantly, it has led to a tie-up between Cadbury and Magic Bus to make sports accessible to thousands of girls. Because every little girl should grow up feeling acknowledged and powerful.
The video had garnered more than 330 million impressions across platforms and reached over 100 million people. This campaign also earned PR worth almost $700,000 and the brand grew by 18%. The video was followed with Kid Day India initiative, which encouraged people to support underprivileged girls by donating sports kits. We played the role of story doer, where opportunity brings changes in lives of budding and aspiring sports person. We did not just recreate the video, but we strived to break the ceiling and create value for girls aspiring to make career in sports. This campaign cut through the entire nation in a toxic social environment where opinions were extremely strong and divided. This campaign received universal acceptance. Love shown to the campaign generated a lot of goodwill among the industry experts and public at large. We believe we played a small role in adding voice to gender equality in sports. Apart from impacting cricket, general consciousness and narrative towards women in sports has seen a big change. I hope someday we look at success in sports and acknowledge the athletes irrespective of their gender. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Next presentation, the entry ID is 1970 and the brand is Bru.
Just give me 1 second, I'm projecting.
Sure.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes,
Let me know when to start, please.
you can start. All the best.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Judy. Today, I'll take you through the journey of a central figure in my life. This is my mother, Sharda, at the age of 21. Fresh out of college, she moved to Bangalore to study further. Just look at her in this picture. She has the whole world laid out in front of her. As far as one can go back in time, she's always wanted to be a professor of language. And from being forced to drop out in 6th grade to going back and getting a BA, a B.Ed, she beat the odds and her career plan was set. Her story had just begun. And somewhere in the middle of all of this, she met my handsome dad and a love story blossomed. The year's 1995, at 26, full of renewed dreams, she got married, a turning point in her life. Cut to a few years later, I'm a part of her story too now. She'd left her job by now as a teacher and would spend hours making me study or taking care of my needs or just entertaining herself with my face as the palette. She'd stood by my father while he opened a business, supporting him through his long hours, his frustrations, and his dreams, a supporting pillar in every moment. But did you realize something? This was her story, and somewhere in her own story, she became a supporting character. Think of your own mothers or the women in your life. Does this story feel familiar? My mother took a step back to support me and my father, but our success became her identity, and quite literally in our case. But in an alternate universe, if my father had managed to step in and support her a bit more, could she have also been at par with him today, career-wise? If some roles were shared, some responsibilities equated, some more understanding than what my mother is used to, would I today be looking at Dr. Sharda? The simple answer is yes. Between 1995 and today, my mother went through the same journey that millions of Indian women go through in a marriage. And as one of the leading coffee brands in India, Bru has always celebrated unique moments of a journey of a married couple by owning the messaging of happiness starts with Bru. However, in Bru's key market of Tamil Nadu, women resonate with my mother's story. In their deeply patriarchal society, women are often expected to live in their husband's shadow. There is a blatant lack of appreciation for carrying the burden of family or household duties, with usually not even a single helping hand in sight. In simple words, women are not even seen as equals by their own partners. And this issue spills over to media representation too, because most FMCG brands, including Bru, have reinforced this bias in the past, starting from very simple things like the woman always serving the food or coffee. But of course, change starts from within. So as the market leader, Bru took a stand to empower these women. It took an active step to change its advertising by making the male protagonist brew a cup of coffee for his wife. But is that actually enough? We knew that we had to capture multiple touchpoints beyond 30 seconders and traditional advertising to bring effective change through constant repetition. It was clear to us that from career to household, from family to pursuing own interests, a woman's expectation out of her husband is simple: unwavering support. But we realized that it's crucial for this support to be established in the first few years of marriage itself. The formative years, as we like to call it, sets the tone for the rest of the marriage. So how could Bru tackle this issue by speaking to the right audience at the right time? Presenting Anandam Arambam, the first ever branded fictional Tamil micro series where we took our audience through the journey of the first year of marriage, all the way from the proposal to the first anniversary. To reach Bru's TG of women between 22 to 40, we partnered with India's leading OTT platform, Disney Plus Hotstar, as over 15 million women from Tamil Nadu alone consume every day.
I didn't click on anything.
1 second, there's somebody speaking. I think Nidhi should please go on mute. Sorry. Yeah. Keeping this in mind, we created 8 micro episodes that were strategically placed in catch-up TV segments, where we captured wholesome moments of Ram and Ranjani, all made better with a cup of coffee. Ranjani's every small interest or insecurity or conflict or happy moments had Ram's unwavering support. These beautiful moments were also captured in a music video, which was taken across YouTube, audio OTTs, and music channels of Tamil Nadu. But we didn't stop there. To ensure that our audience engaged with our messaging firsthand, we also created an interactive WhatsApp chatbot that was connected to the show's CTA. Through this, our protagonist Ram answered queries and shared advice for husbands to be more present with their partners. We created a seamless journey from video OTT to chatbot to e-com. Come, let's have a look at how Bru redefined the ideal Tamil husband.
Anandam Arambam, the happy beginnings of a new age couple, a supportive husband, Ram, and his modern wife, Ranjani, capturing 8 micro moments of their journey from confessing love to starting a new life to celebrating 365 days together, all over a cup of brew. While the show engaged viewers, we turned our protagonist Ram into a WhatsApp chatbot, a friend for real-life couples, asking them relevant questions and stitching their brew love notes that encouraged husbands to support their better halves. This is how it panned out. As Tamil Nadu were reminded again, happiness starts with a cup of brew.
Using the reach of OTT and the power of tech, we garnered massive traction in the Tamil market. The campaign resulted in a significant increase of top-of-mind awareness and consideration and aided in first-party data collection. We have continued to win across multiple Indian awards, and we have not only resonated with women who wanted to be seen and to be heard, but also with men who wanted to learn how to express. And for a brand that has always stood for happiness starts with Bru, we showed that in a successful marriage, happiness actually starts with two. Thank you.
Thank you. Next presentation, the entry ID is 1956 and the brand is Skoda Auto. Over to presenter.
Yes. Am I visible? And is my audio, I'm audible?
Yes.
Okay. Is my screen visible as well?
Yes.
I'll start.
Yeah, you can start. Your time starts now. All those.
Hi everyone, my name is Jainesh Doshi and I'm here to present the entry of Skoda connecting with the soil of India. Dear jury, what is that one thing which is common between wedding, traveling, festivals, parties and celebrations? Undoubtedly, it is music. Music is a common unifier across various occasions, cultures, emotions, and it resonates with every single individual. Research proves music has the ability to change our mood and thoughts by changing the way we perceive the world. And thus, we knew that music was a solution to the problem Skoda was facing in 2021. But what was the challenge? 2021 was a year when Skoda completed 2 decades of its presence in India. While we were scaling good sales in the metros, we had to grow our sales from the tier 1 and tier 2 towns. People liked our cars in these towns, but they perceived Skoda to be a premium brand and hence feared entering our showrooms. With a made in India car, Skoda Kushaq, we were competing in the crossover SV segment with very competitive pricing. We had to improve the perception of the brand from being more European to a brand more relevant and relatable to the Indian audience. Indians relate to their culture in a big way. And we knew that cultures in India change by geographies and from state to state. We created relevance for Skoda by celebrating this diversity through that one thing that transcends culture, which is music. And it also helps change perception of a brand as being more Indian. Thus was born our musical show, Skoda Sonic Roots, where we went on a journey into the heartland of India with Skoda and music at its core. We partnered with one of the most talented and popular singer, Amit Trivedi, who created new music specifically for Skoda to celebrate its Indianness. We shortlisted 5 states, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, West Bengal and Tamil Nadu, as these were the key states identified for Skoda's growth, and our activations were centered around them. Trivedi, along with the individual folk artists, created a special song that celebrated one unique thing of each state. For example, Mame Khan, a popular Rajasthani singer, jammed with Amit Trivedi to create a jovial song about Rajasthan's fascination with moustaches. Amit traveled through these 5 states along with regional artists, picking up regional nuances like such and added them to their songs. Let's take a look at the AV. India Skoda reconnects on Skoda as India reconnects on Skoda Sonic Roots.
I think you have not shared the sound.
I did just 1 minute. I'll reshare my screen.
Yep.
It's go. Skoda Sonic.
Does this sound audible now?
Skoda Sonic Roots.
Yeah.
Skoda Sonic Roots was a journey into the heartland of India with music and Skoda at its core.
There's music in the soil of India. Music हमारी मिट्टी में है.
We partnered with one of the most talented and popular singer Amit Trivedi, who created new music specifically for Skoda to celebrate its Indianness. We also had Amit Trivedi jam with popular local artists from 5 states to have a blend of their regional folk music with a touch of Amit's modern music. Amit Trivedi, along with 9 regional folk artists across these states, created a special song that celebrated one unique thing of the state. We thus created 6 songs that celebrated the diversity in India through its music, with Skoda being at the center of the entire video. The episodes were taken live on India's popular app Voot, along with TV channels of the Viacom 18 group. The music of the show also went live on Amazon Music, Gaana and Spotify for our listeners. Along with our core series, we created multiple content integrations like the launch promo, teasers, BTS, artist bites, journey videos and more. The end result. Our songs were well applauded by the masses, with 40 million impressions, reach of about 31 plus million, around 21 million engagements, and over 23 million video views. Brand For Me scores jumped by 30%. Brand likability increased by 100 basis points. Brand viral index went up by 216%. Contribution of sales from their Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities increased by 7%.
I'd like to end this presentation by saying one more thing. While technology connects to our minds, our hearts will always connect with the roots of India. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next presentation, entry ID is 1932, Cadbury 5-star.
Thank you.
Cindy,
Can you see my screen?
have you done this? Yes. Have you changed?
Yeah. Please let me know when I
Are you ready?
Yes.
You can start. Your time starts. All the best.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the jury. This is Kashish Davda, and today I'm going to be speaking about this very quirky campaign by Cadbury 5-star, the Do Nothing legend. We all know 5-star is a 70-year-old brand, and through the years, it has come up with variants and new ways to engage with its consumers. Over the years, 5-star has grown, but with the competitive heat in the market today, even the brand new, they had to come up with something new and interesting. And with IPL around the corner, they surely had to strengthen themselves. IPL is one of the most viewed sporting events of the country among our target audience. And while the IPL season is ongoing, a lot of brands tend to onboard cricketers as their brand ambassadors. We all know the prospect of doing nothing is to pass on the message to its consumers that it's fine to sometimes just sit, relax, eat a 5-star and do nothing. And while you do that, you can still be powerful. So we needed someone who could break the clutter as well as personify this value. This IPL season, 5-star's all-new brand ambassador is none other than the third umpire himself, C.K. Nandan. Surprising, right? Who would have thought that a third umpire would make as a brand ambassador? He fits perfectly to this proposition. And to create intrigue among the Gen Zs who follow the IPL season religiously, 5-star took it upon themselves to create a do-nothing legend, and who better to promote this proposition than the third umpire himself. After all, he does nothing and still has the power of doing and changing everything. Here's a little snippet of what Five-Star did along with CK Nandan.
There are heroes in every game, and there are legends. Legends who don't need the practice or the bats on the back. They can turn the tide without moving a muscle and make millions wait for their move with bated breath, while they do almost nothing.
You have not shared the sound. System sound.
Real legends of cricket. So this season, our brand ambassador is
Can
this
you
guy.
Sorry, 1 second. Sorry.
I have paused your timer, don't worry.
Yeah.
Please share the sound.
Once I did, just 1 second, I'll share the screen again. Sorry.
Yeah. While sharing itself, you'll get the option to share the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just 1 second.
There are heroes in every game, and there are legends. Legends who don't need the practice.
We can't see.
They can turn the tide without
Just the
moving a muscle
blank screen here.
and make millions wait for their move with bated breath, while they do almost nothing. It's time the real legends of cricket got their due. So this season, our brand.
Can you reshare it? We are unable to see the screen.
Okay, yeah. Can you see the screen now?
Yeah.
There are heroes in every game.
No, the video is not playing.
Legends who don't need the practice or the bats on the back. They can turn the tide without moving a muscle and make millions wait for their move.
No, we cannot see anything.
While they do almost nothing.
Do you want to go on the, as next? Don't worry. You can sort this out. We'll go ahead with the next presentation by the time. You can come back.
Okay.
Okay, so the next
Smita?
presentation, entry ID is 1929 and the brand is Asian Paints Limited.
Am I audible and is the screen visible?
Yes.
Shall I start?
Yeah, you can start. Your time starts now. All the best.
Good evening, everyone. Today I'm here to present the case where the heart is. मकान की दीवारों के कान होते हैं, लेकिन घर की दीवारों की जुबान होती है. किचन कहता है कि चलो यार आज कुछ नया ट्राई करते हैं, और कॉफी टेबल से गुफ्तगू हम चाय पे किया करते हैं. ड्राइंग रूम पूछ रहा है आजकल कहाँ है तेरे दोस्त यार, तो पेड़ पौधों से मैं गपशप कर लेती हूँ दो चार. यकीन है तो बस इस बात का कि अब मैं इस घर में नहीं, ये घर मुझ में रहता है. Home. Every one of us likes the idea of home. A cozy bed, loving arms, perhaps a munchkin or two waiting for you. Home means not one, but many things. It's our reflection, and all of us take pride in showcasing that. India, where the circle of care is not limited to spouse and children, but embraces every relation related to us by blood and by affection. In a functional category like ours, we have been building families over past 70 years now. We have come a long way connecting with these families from Har Ghar Kuch Kehta Hai. And the journey is from emotional dialect to digital inspiration. The evolution of media weighs towards digital ecosystem. Within this ecosystem, the snackable content is the clear hero. And this digital content inspires people from basic lifestyle to home decor ideas. People seek inspiration from their favorite celebrity homes and adapt their own personal space. The idea was to go beyond just showcasing celeb homes to sharing untold stories. We created a ripple in the ecosystem with Where the Heart Is, a series of 6 webisodes featuring celebrities getting candid in their own homes.
Uh, you have not shared the sound. So just the music is coming, nothing else. So can you just share the sound? On top, you have more options, right?
It is the sound.
Yeah.
The music is shared. You can hear the music, right?
But not the not the complete music. It's just coming very low. I think it's playing from the mic, so that's the reason it's not clear.
I'll just reshare it.
No, you don't have to reshare. It's just that on top you have more options, right? On Zoom.
Yes.
Zoom controls. There you get the option to share screen. Share sound, sorry. If you click on more, you get the option to share sound.
Okay.
This home of ours that we built, I think 17 years ago, is a true labor of love because we've really put in everything we can.
Welcome to the space where I chill whenever I'm free. बड़ा colorful सा है ये area of the house.
I'm not one to cook a lot, but it's not that I have not and I don't cook. There's a certain joy to cooking.
This house has seen us. I feel like it's been a part of our relationships.
In this house, when we entered, the incident happened with me. So they said, no, ये घर थोड़ा गड़बड़ है, यहाँ पे ये हुआ.
I went to my Pandit ji. तो he said, नहीं भाभी आप ये सोचो कि भाई यहाँ पे बच गए.
वापस
The results? We reached 81 million plus audience across all platforms. The campaign garnered 115 million plus views on each of the 7 episodes, along with 500 million plus impressions served, and engaged 22 million plus users over a period of 1 month, earning us media worth 18 crore. But what did we really change? We challenged our category trend and changed its tonality. Instead of only relying on unrealistic visuals, we connected people with inspirational stories. And lastly, we convinced the audience that beautiful homes are crafted by the reflection of their passion and stories. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is Cadbury 5-star team is ready? Hello. Hello.
Hi, yes.
Cadbury 5-star team is ready?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you can carry on. The entry ID is 1932. The brand is Cadbury 5-star. Over to you.
Just 1 second. I'll just share my screen.
Sure.
Is it visible, my screen? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm
Again,
ready
it's
when.
blank screen.
Sorry?
Can you hide the floaters, Zoom floaters?
Just 1 second, yeah. I'll reshare my screen 1 second. Is it fine now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm ready whenever I can start.
Yeah, you can start.
Good evening, members of the jury. This is Kashish Davda, and today I'm going to be speaking about this very quirky campaign by Cadbury 5-star, the Do Nothing legend. We all know 5-star is a 70-year-old brand, and through the years, it has come up with variants and new ways to engage with its audience. Over the years,
Are you
5-star.
changing any screens? It's
Sorry?
stuck, I think. It's stuck again, I think. The
I
screen.
have. Is it fine now?
No, it's not moving.
I'll reshare it once again.
Maybe you might have to change your system or something. Which system you are using? MacBook or something?
No, I'm using Windows only. Is it fine if I present it at the last?
Yeah, sure.
While I switch my
Yeah.
system?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
There
so
are
much.
3 more presentations. After that, you can.
Okay. Yes, okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, then moving on to the next presentation, the entry ID is 1934 and the brand is Cadbury Dairy Milk Silk. Over to the presenter.
Yeah. You can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready to start when you are.
Please go ahead. Your time starts from all the rest.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Monica Solanki, and I'm here to spill a few secrets about love. We all have seen romantic Bollywood movies and its grand gestures of the protagonist going to great lengths to express their love. This is exactly what drives our TG to go far for love. When it comes to Valentine's Day, almost all the marquee brands are vying for Gen Z's attention.
which is also Silk's core target audience. Since Valentine's Day is a time-bound occasion, every brand across categories tries to dominate the space with glorifying product comms. As we all know, over the years, Silk has established itself as a catalyst of love, inspiring Gen Zs to not just express love, but in fact, go far for love. I'm here to tell you how Silk connected with Gen Zs to help them celebrate love this Valentine's Day. Silk's task at hand was to not just break advertising clutter, but most importantly, deliver sales growth of 15% in just 15 days around Valentine's Day, which is a towering target to achieve. With a view to make Valentine's Day 2022 even more special for young couples, Silk launched the Heart Pop Blush Pack. I'm sure we all must have lied to our parents at some point in our dating years. Also considering the Indian culture, young love in India is often met with disapproval and is frowned upon. Youngsters go to great lengths to hide their relationship from families and friends, from hiding the social media account from families to saving numbers from with different names to making random excuses for coming late. The trials and tribulations of young love is endless. Parents think they know everything about their kids, but do they? While Gen Zs look forward to make this special day in full swing with over-the-top gestures, all of it is not possible, as they often keep their love life a secret. Silk's strategy this year had to change from how far will you go for love with over-the-top gestures to how far will you go to make them blush secretly. Introducing Cadbury Silk's innovative and unique campaign, Silk Secret Messages. Silk launched an industry-first tech innovation using its limited edition pack. We use the power of AR for couples to send hidden messages that could only be seen by the recipient. We created a video explaining Gen Zs that they could simply scan a QR code on the pack, directing them to a microsite to write their secret message for that special someone. This message could be shared to the recipient with a link for them to read it. Now here's the catch. The eager recipient can only reveal the secret message when they click on the link to open the camera and point their phone to any nearest Silk ad. Here's a glimpse of how we executed the campaign.
Well, we have a 16-year-old son. Girlfriend? No. He's too young for that.
Only studies and sports.
Yeah. I mean, we think that career comes first. He will have lots of time for romance later.
Thanks to this mindset of Indian parents, most young romances turn into secret romances. On Valentine's Day, Cadbury Silk, a brand that stands for young love, used AR to turn every Silk ad into a declaration of love. Cadbury Silk presents Secret Messages. The sender simply scanned a Silk pack, typed a cute message, and pressed send. The receiver simply pointed their phone at any Silk ad, and voila! The ad turned into the secret love message, which only they could see. Billboards, print ads, posters, and even TV ads could be scanned to reveal the secret message. And no parents objected, as none of them could see it.
The campaign was a huge success, with over 1,000 million impressions generated through multiple touchpoints such as video, audio, social media, etc., and 2.1 million people visiting the microsite. We received an overwhelming audience engagement with 1.5 million plus secret messages sent. Our campaign received over 50 million video views across video platforms such as YouTube, Hotstar, Instagram, etc. Not only did we achieve scale, but we achieved quality viewing with VTR performance being above benchmark across all platforms. In addition, the campaign generated 1.5 million worth earned PR in just 15 days. It does not stop here. This campaign also helped us collect over 1 million unique identifiable first-party data that could be leveraged for future campaigns. We received an overwhelming response, resulting in 27% sales growth in limited edition packs sold over last year, correspondingly adding a massive 12% growth in revenue. In conclusion, Silk helped young love blossom in India, one secret message at a time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next presentation, the entry ID is 1906 and the brand is Pepsi.
Hi, just give us a minute. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Can you see our screen?
Yeah.
Namaste, India.
Is it full screen for everybody?
No.
Okay. Is it now full screen?
No, we can see the comments as well.
Sorry?
You can see the comments at all. Not the full screen. I think you're sharing the screen, which is where the presentation is open, not the slideshow is open.
Just give us a minute, we are figuring it.
Now, is it on the presenter view or is it the full screen?
No,
I think it's
all the slides and everything.
Yeah, one second.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Oh.
And our audio is like, you can hear us clearly, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
All the best. Your time starts now.
Thank you.
Hi, students. How are you?
Hi, sir.
Hi, sir.
I know it's the while that I have taken a marketing lecture. And last I heard from Vandana madam, she was saying that I really tell good stories. So today, let me tell you a story. It's actually a case study on how Pepsi, one of the favorite youth icon brands, created history with best media innovation for video. So students, are you excited?
Yes, sir.
So tell me, कितना video content consume करते हो आप लोग?
बहुत ज्यादा सर, और अगर मनी हाइस्ट जैसा शो हो तो हमारे बिंज वॉच होता है, मैराथन्स चल रहे होते हैं फिर हम लोगों के.
But अगर Money Heist का season खत्म हो गया हो and you guys are waiting for the new season, then what do you guys do?
Easy, sir. We speculate and we wait. In fact, we also predict what's going to come in the next season.
Oh.
Not only that, we see a lot of videos on multiple platforms.
Exactly. So coming back to the story, Pepsi wanted to satisfy the entertainment quench of the youth and fans like you guys. And it was a perfect opportunity to build top of mind recall and build anticipation for the next season of Money Heist. And students, how they did it? By creating a sustained video experience.
Sustained video experience? How did they do it?
Let me tell you. So it all started with one of its kind collaboration with the show, where they created a brand new digital video where they took Tiger Shroff. Rashika, you must be knowing Tiger Shroff. He's your favorite actor, right?
Yes, sir.
And they collaborated with Professor and created one of its kind video. Nidhi, why don't you play it for the entire class?
Yes, sir.
Professor, good morning.
आपकी क्लास ज्वाइन करने का कब से वेट कर रहा था?
इस काम में गलती की कोई गुंजाइश नहीं है.
गलती तो मैं गलती से भी नहीं करता. और फिर ये पेप्सी गोल्डन कैन्स इंडिया के लिए आपसे मिलने की गोल्डन टिकट्स हैं. चोरों से वापस चुराने ही होंगे. लोकेशन क्या है?
Grab a Pepsi Golden Pack or scan the Pepsi logo to be a part of the biggest ever Pepsi and Money Heist binge party.
Great. Did you guys see that?
Yes, sir.
Nidhi, Pepsi सुन के तुम Pepsi पी रही हो? Should I order a pizza also for you?
No, sir. Thank you.
Anyway, pizza से याद आया, to build a memorable experience for the fans, Pepsi actually planned a real heist at Pizza Hut outlets. देखो बहुत simple था. They installed golden balls in the Pizza Hut outlets, and fans got a chance where they actually would solve the puzzle and they could win that Pepsi limited edition can. And they created a video out of it. उन्होंने बहुत ही simple चीज की. They took that video and they hosted on multiple social media platforms. Guys, students, okay, who is playing music in the class? और अगर music तुम लोग को सुनना भी है तो, listen to Yash Raj. He makes such trendy and cool songs. And Pepsi exactly did that. They collaborated with Yash Raj and created one of its kind version of Bella Ciao, right? And since you are anyway listening to music in the class, can we play the next track, please? Wow, that was a good song. This is what I call a song, guys. So, coming to the end of the class, Pepsi activated literally all the multiple digital touch points, and they gave a reason to the fans and students like you to watch content, to discuss content, and to follow the content which was created over a month. And as a campaign finale, a virtual party host की थी Pepsi ने. Right? I know you guys love partying. So a virtual party which was witnessed by millions of fans. And this was actually a case study on how Pepsi ने actually अपने fans की प्यास बुझाई. And since this was all about video, I'm just going to play one last video. Nidhi, can we roll?
Yes, sir.
Namaste, India.
Pepsi, for the season finale of Money Heist, tied up with the biggest online pop culture destination, Netflix, to create a unique experience for the fans. The campaign was a massive hit, with 1 crore fans joining the finale party. The campaign TVC garnered 13 million views. Campaign secured media value worth 39 million rupees. Over 267 media features. Reached over 81.3 million people. 94% users experiencing joy as per brand sentiment analysis. First ever CTR of 16% achieved on Swiggy homepage banner.
Okay, thank you, students. I hope this was an interesting class for you.
Yes,
Very,
sir.
sir.
Until then, next time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Smita,
Thank
can you
you.
announce the next presentation?
Yeah, the next presentation, the entry ID is 1927 and the brand is Upstox. Over
Sure,
to
I'll
Pradeep.
I'll just share my screen and you all can confirm. Can you all see the screen?
Yeah.
Full screen or with the comments on it?
Full screen.
Awesome. So please let me know when I can start.
Your time starts. All the best.
Thank you. Oh, I was just getting ready. I was just getting ready for my second innings, but I have some time. So how about I take you through something really cool? I'm Jugal Kathuria, and I'm a right-handed middle order batter, and I'm here to demystify stock trading through cricket. So, since we all love games, here's an interesting one. Could you identify the brands on your screen? I'll give you a few seconds. Go ahead. I'm sure you could. But what about the ones that you saw on the right? Were you able to identify any of these? Let's see how many of you all even got correct. Obviously, the FMCG brands on the left were easily identifiable. Why not? They have been our go-to brands on a daily basis. Even drinks break में हम कभी-कभी consume कर लेते हैं यार. But what about the ones on the right? Well, they're low on visibility. They're associated with the stereotypical investor. They barely have any culture fit. And in terms of understanding, that's a mystery. So, to tell you the truth, even I wasn't able to recognize these logos on the right until COVID made me realize that there needs to be an alternate source of income for me as a person. And I need to find a way to invest whatever little I could. क्योंकि मैच उस टाइम पे रोज नहीं होते थे और स्पोर्ट्स कार लेना काफी जरूरी हो गया था. Now let me ask you a question. These numbers that are coming up on your screen, do these make sense to you? Obviously not. This is not a cricket scoreboard, but these do make sense to an average retail investor in the stock market, but just not to an average Indian. For them, it would be like trying to demystify the fashion sense of the Hardik Pandya. Sorry, Pandya bhai, pura nahi manna. But on a serious note, here's why stock market could look a little overbearing and complex to a common Indian, because it's filled with graphs, data points, charts, ratios, and jargons like buy, sell, hold, and others. Now, so what about it? Well, आज market ऊपर है या नीचे is a statement we hear all around us on a daily basis. Even in a dressing room, that's a chat area. As per research, out of the entire billion population of India who are talking about trading, only 4% of them are actually investing in stock market. In short, the rest of the 96% of the population is invested in soft and safer options like fixed deposits, insurance, and gold. Well, so our challenge was twofold. Either we speak to the 4% investor community or die trying, or then we wondered what would Sky do? Surya Kumar Yadav, he would say, forget the 4%, go after the 96. After all, we were gunning for a century. And that's what we did. We turned it into our task at hand. We turned it into two major points. One, to drive brand awareness and consideration, and two, increase the app user base. Now, to speak to the remainder of the 96% to consider us, we had to look at an analogy that cuts across RTG, something that Indians consume on a daily basis, and that was cricket. We had found the perfect bridge. Just like stock trading, cricket too has its own complexities attached, be it the scores, the run rates, the strike rates, and the much intimidating Duckworth-Lewis method. However, even a common man can easily understand this complex nature of cricket. In short, cricket turned out to be the perfect analogy for us to demystify stock trading and make it look easy and comprehensible to the common man. Now the question was, how do we go about demystifying this data for a commoner? Simple, we treated players like stocks. But the bigger question was, when do we do this? India might lose or win a game every now and then, but there's only one place where India wins every day, and that's IPL. IPL became our playing field, and thus Upstox Cricket Index was born. Upstox Cricket Index is a data-backed performance-based index which is derived from real-time performances measured on the field. Example, the fielding, the bowling, and the batting, and the strike rate averages, and calculated into a value. We went a step further ahead and used the real-time player values to draw an analogy and creating a stock market equivalent called the ticker. We called it the manifestation of UCI, the UCI ticker. If you look closely, you will find player names instead of stock names appearing right in front of you. Now, to take this step further ahead, we build partnerships across the board. We created a data-driven algorithm and brought all the performances into a real-time rating index with our sports partner, Sports Interactive. To lend credibility, we partnered with the Indian Cricket Board, and to reach out to the 96% of the TG, we had to speak in terms which they understand really well on a daily basis, and that was digital videos. We created bespoke content on OTT platforms. We associated with Disney Hotstar and Star Sports, the official broadcasters of IPL, and we associated with cricketing and business portals because that's where all our TG was settled. Let me show you the highlights of our match-winning performance.
Upstox Cricket Index, a real-time stock index equivalent of cricket, was built to simplify the analogy of trading via cricket. By treating players like stocks, built on a real-time performance ranking algorithm that analyzes batting, bowling and fielding performance, highs and lows. All the data was converted into a popular mnemonic of stock markets, the ticker, but with players as stocks. At Indian Premier League, the Super Bowl of India, Upstox Cricket Index became the pivotal rating system through real-time report cards during 60 live matches, live ranking and leaderboards, bespoke content with cricket experts discussing every match using the index. The ticker was also showcased on business channels in partnership with the official broadcasters of IPL, sports, business channels along with sports data analytics pioneer and Indian Cricket Board. Upstox Cricket Index scored a bull run. Upstox Cricket Index ended up simplifying trading for the common man.
The UCI ended up hijacking the IPL and became the unofficial rating system of the tournament. We demystified stock trading for the common man and we hit it out of the park for the task deliverables. The approach also echoed really well with the juries across the world. And let me bring to your attention, juries, this creative idea was born and bred completely in this media agency. On that thought, end of day's play. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
चल यूसी रील बनाते हैं आजा.
Thank you. Okay, the Cadbury 5-star team.
Yes.
Okay, entry ID is 1932, Cadbury 5-star.
Yeah.
All the best.
Thank you. I hope the third time's a charm now.
No.
Okay, my screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm just going to put it on the screen. Is it fine?
Yes. Your
Okay.
time starts now.
Thank you.
You have not shared the sound still.
I have, I'll just do it
On
again.
the top, you have music, Zoom controls, right?
Just 1 second. I'll reshare the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it fine?
Yeah. You can start. Your time starts. It's not full screen yet. Yeah.
It's there now, full screen?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Your time starts. All the best.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the jury. This is Kashish Davda, and today I'm going to be speaking about this very quirky campaign by Cadbury 5-star, the Do Nothing legend. We all know 5-star is a 70-year-old brand, and through the years, it has come up with variants and new ways to engage with its consumers. Over the years, 5-star has grown, but with the competitive heat in the market, even the brand knew they had to come up with something new and interesting. And with IPL around the corner, they surely had to strengthen themselves. IPL is one of the most viewed sporting events of the country among our target audience. And while the IPL season is ongoing, the brands tend to bring cricketers on board as their brand ambassadors. We all know the prospect of Do Nothing is to pass on the message to its consumers that sometimes it's okay to just sit, relax, eat a 5-star, and do nothing. And while you do that, you can still be powerful. So we needed to break a clutter as well as personify this value, which is why this IPL season, 5-star's all-new brand ambassador is none other than CK Nandan. Surprising, right? Who would have thought a third umpire would make as a brand ambassador? He fits perfectly to this proposition and to create intrigue among the Gen Zs who follow the IPL season religiously. 5-star took it upon themselves to create a do-nothing legend, and who better to promote this than the third umpire himself? I mean, he does almost nothing and still has the power of doing and changing everything. Here's a little snippet of what 5-star did along with CK Nandan.
There are heroes in every game, and there are legends. Legends who don't need the practice or the pats on the back. They can turn the dial.
I'm so sorry.
There are heroes in every game, and there are legends. Legends who don't need the practice or the pats on the back. They can turn the tide without moving a muscle and make millions wait for their move with bated breath, while they do almost nothing. It's time the real legends of cricket got their due. So this season, our brand ambassador is this guy.
Finally, a true legend has gotten his due for making history by doing almost nothing.
We took the cricket world by the storm, and during the IPL season, we created one-of-a-kind brand film featuring our do-nothing legend, CK Nandan as himself, the third umpire, where he stole the spotlight from other players. We launched a brand film revealing our proposition with CK Nandan on high-reach platforms like YouTube and Twitter, showcasing the awesomeness of a do-nothing legend. We didn't just stop here. We went where the third umpire is the most relevant during the live IPL matches. We ran the shorter edits of a brand film during the tournament to build the brand recall. And every third umpire decision was branded as a 5-star moment with the L band in between the live match. We also wanted to give our legend all the recognition and limelight that he deserves. And so we created a 12 feet tall holographic statue that stood right across the Wankhede Stadium, the heart of Mumbai. A digital film of the holographic statue was created for those who couldn't visit, which was then launched on YouTube masthead. The Gen Zs went bonkers when they saw 5-star along with CK Nandan creating an all-new prospect. All of Mumbai witnessed this historic moment and they all wanted a selfie with CK Nandan. The pictures and videos by them literally went viral on Instagram and Facebook, and thousands of people were tweeting about him like crazy. Mr. Nandan may not be a cricketer, but he sure knows how to make a call. And thanks to 5-star, he's not just an old umpire, he is the do-nothing legend. The results of this campaign were meticulous. The brand saw crazy hike in sales during the IPL season with 54% growth. The brand generated over 32 million views on the YouTube film and got a massive reach of 78 million during the IPL live matches, which was 42 times higher than planned through the Gen Zs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This concludes the session. All the
Yeah,
jury
thank
members-
you. Yeah. Just a minute. Thank you, jury members. Any comments on the online experience that you had on the presentations? Jury members, any comments?
No, Bipin, all good. Thank you.
All good? Okay.